I don't see me in your eyes anymore.
It just slows your shit down.
Yeah,
you know.
no, yeah.
And I just don't want people rooting around in my stuff. Just
I'm pretty sure my tablet, because I was trying to download something. It might have been Ableton. I was trying to get it on like my tablet, and I remember going through that, and a couple of them like didn't work or whatever, and I was like, oh, these are definitely just Bitcoin miners.
for
And then
sure.
my
If it's just a
tablet's-
.exe, like
yeah, some
that's-
shit like that.
mhm.
And then my tablet's definitely been running slow ever since.
Mhm.
And that was years ago.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you guys this antivirus. It's not like fucking Avast or whatever, where it, like every
all
time
that shit sucks.
it sucks. Like
Yeah.
McAfee and all
I've
that
never
stuff's
used
garbage.
them since 2006.
They don't do anything.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
viruses.
Yeah,
literally.
no,
Like,
they're worse than any virus I've ever had.
Yeah, it slows all your shit
Yeah.
down.
The cleaners are worse
yeah,
than any
yeah.
virus.
Yeah, for sure.
Any computer I ever had where like it was a software issue that caused it to start fucking up completely, or like Windows won't boot any longer and shit like that. Any issue I've had like that with computers, it was all because I was trying too hard to get some virus off my computer.
Yeah, you fucked up
that I
way
fucked
more
up
things.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You're going into the host file and
Dude,
like
I'm
editing
doing-
shit.
yeah,
like,
or running Avast and shit, and
Right.
then telling it to delete some shit, and then it deletes some Windows file that I needed.
yeah, some like essential
and
system.
now my
thing.
shit's fucked. I'm like, dude, I would have rather just had the Trojan.
Right. Yeah. You can look at my pics, I guess.
Dude, I don't care.
So funny.
Yeah,
It's
McAfee 100%
garbage.
is worse than any virus.
There's a reason he lived on an island.
No,
when he died.
yeah.
He definitely
knew what
stole
he
some
was
shit.
doing, dude.
But
That guy's a piece of shit.
some random guy on Reddit shared this like this antivirus thing,
Yeah.
and I downloaded it, and somebody in the comments was like, "Bro, do you like know what you shared? This is like a industry level like antivirus tool. Like if you hired someone to come to your house, they would like run this thing.
Oh, that's
like it's
badass.
like a proprietary like tool.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time you like turn it on, it asks for an update, and it's just this exe. It just scans your whole fucking thing, and it goes, "Oh, found a virus. Let me take care of it." And then that's it. It doesn't pop up every time you
Yeah,
fucking turn your
nice.
computer
Yeah,
on. Or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's dope. It's very like not in your face, but I'll send it to you guys because it's literally just like a
Hell
tiny
yeah.
file.
Yeah, I use like Clean My Mac or some shit. It's probably
Sounds
for
bad.
babies.
Oh, it just sounds. It sounds like it's a virus. Like,
I mean, it's like I
Yeah.
think it's legit, but it's like I don't know like how much it's doing. I like tell it to scan my thing, and it's
And
like
it never finds it.
I didn't find it. Well, it found a bunch of stuff the first time, and
Yeah,
it like got
yeah.
rid of a bunch of like trash files, and I was like, nice. But now it's like, do I need it after that?
I
No.
probably haven't checked or anything for viruses or anything in 10 years.
and you're fine. And
Yeah,
you're running.
nothing has ever messed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
I think really what you got to worry about is like, well, I guess it doesn't. I mean, there's the ransomware thing where they like encrypt all your
Yeah,
files. They're like,
for
you got to
sure.
pay us money, or we're gonna
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know.
But
you're
then
gonna
I'll
lose your
just
shit.
you could have my shit, and then I will just reinstall Windows 10 on my computer.
No, that's so. I literally did that today. Where like I've gotten to the point like. Computer data is so ephemeral to me. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if I lose it, I'm just like, oh, like that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
gone
even
forever.
real.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know what I mean? After you like lose a whole computer multiple times, you're like,
Yeah.
what is a file anyway? Like, you don't even really need this shit. But like, I got to a point where this thing was just fucking up. I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to put everything on a flash drive and just nuke the whole fucking
Yeah.
hard drive and then put everything back on because I just can't figure out
best
what's
way to
wrong.
do it,
Yeah,
man.
and it fixed it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go nuclear.
The only thing that fucked me up was it happened to me a couple years ago. I had to like reset my whole computer, factory reset it or whatever. But when I went to do that, it like put all my documents and all my files into like it partitioned them into their own thing. And so I still had access to them. But what I didn't know was that access was time limited. So it was like a 60 or 90-day thing. And I didn't know that. So if I knew that, I would have copied over like all my beats and shit. But I lost all of my beats that I'd ever
Dang.
like
Could
Could you
everything.
have paid to like get it back or get access again?
I looked into it, and people were like, "There's all these programs and shit where you can like restore folders back to how they were if you had restore points for them."
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Or like, I guess the way files work and shit is like it'll save it. And if a new thing hasn't been saved, it won't overwrite the data that's
Yes.
there.
Because that's
So-
how they get people who wipe their drives.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
shit's still there.
Yeah.
It doesn't get. It just. It's marked for overwriting, where it's like you can save stuff over this, but unless you save stuff over it,
100%.
it's just sitting
It should still be there.
Yeah.
So I could have done all that, but you got to pay like $90 or $70 for these programs. And I
Not
was like-
happening.
and I was like, I'm losing all my beats. I don't really care.
No, that's
It was fine.
yeah. You
Whatever.
come to terms with it. You're
Yeah,
like, what are you gonna do?
I didn't give
yeah,
a
it's
shit.
gone.
Yeah.
And like that is what's cool about Linux is there's tools like that probably could have done that shit for free just
yeah,
because
yeah,
some
'cause it's
fucking
all,
guy made it.
Open
Open
whatever.
source.
Yeah,
Mhm.
open source. Yeah.
Yeah, like I got a thing. I was trying to get. I like broke my main computer because I tried to dual boot Linux onto it, and it overwrote. There's these things called EFI partitions, which I don't even know what it does, but I know it's like essential for booting the computer.
Yeah.
And I was installing the new Linux thing on like a separate part of the hard drive. Actually, it was a totally different part of or a different hard drive entirely, and. I noticed whenever it was installing it, it like had my main one as like it was doing something to it, but the before and after looked the exact same. So I was like, oh, it's not. I guess it's not doing anything.
Okay.
Like, yeah, what is that?
But then it overwrote.
It overwrote the EFI thing, and it was the
Oof.
exact same size, so I couldn't tell on the
Oh,
before and
man.
after. And I try to go back into it, and it's like cannot mount the like critical error. I get the blue
Yeah.
screen and all that, but I can still mount that hard drive from the Linux version that I did start
okay.
and get to all my files and shit
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
And I brought them all over, and they're like, it's the wrong file format. And then I was like asking AI or whatever, like how to fix that. And they're like, oh, just use this tool called DOS to Unix. And it converts all your files from Windows files to Unix
What,
files
dude?
like instantly.
Okay,
I was
that's
like,
sick.
okay,
Yeah,
bip, and it just
Alright.
fucking formatted all
So
of
you
them.
can't boot Windows anymore, but
No.
it'll boot Linux.
Yeah, and I can still get to my files
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
Windows machine. So I'm like, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
badass.
Yeah, why does it matter then?
That's
So-
crazy. You asked AI.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
That's all I do now with
Yeah,
computers.
that's crazy.
'cause, like,
I've never asked AI a single thing. Well, I asked it to write a joke for me one time, and it was a bad
joke?
so-
it does not do that well.
Yeah,
That is a weak spot.
I've tried a couple times. I was like, I know there's something here. Oh, it was the joke about like the British kids saying "curse you, mummy." I was like, I want to. And then I realized I was like, oh, this is a joke that AI would never get because it's about like dialect and like the way people talk.
It's too
and-
nuanced. There's
Yeah,
no way.
yeah.
No, it doesn't
But I
understand.
was like, this is the perfect joke for AI when I went into it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna give
punch
me
this up
something
for
you,
here,
yeah.
dude.
Right.
Yeah, just a little tag or
yeah,
something.
it
It's
gets where I'm
got
coming
no-
from.
It's got, and then I tried all these different ways of asking it, and I was like, I forget, it came out, but it ended up being like, I was like, first describe to me why this is funny, so I could see if the AI
Right.
gets
I want to know you know.
Yeah,
This-
yeah.
why this-
and then it was like, it's funny because the British kid's mom looked like a mummy or something like that, and I was like,
It's like
no,
wrong.
It doesn't get. It's never gonna get there.
That'd be good
Take a
crowd
break,
work.
man.
You start asking the audience to do shit like that.
Yeah.
Hey, describe
get
why
it?
you.
I noticed you didn't laugh.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why that
Yeah.
joke's funny?
yeah, I want to make sure it's not funny or you don't get it. It's important for my data.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
Dude.
Uh,
building an AI joke bot.
That is a good idea, dude.
You should have it.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
could
Crowd
make a
work.
real, like an actual
Surveying
funny
the
one,
audience.
Yeah.
that'd be crazy to like. I would love to feed it like all of my text conversations and see if
Yeah.
it could get my style, and then give it my voice,
Yeah.
and then just see if it could be me.
Yeah, and
then,
just
like, and
fucking
then kill myself,
eradicate you. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my.
That's a good. But
Fucking
that's a great
bury
plan,
myself
dude.
alive and never, and disappear.
I'm gonna start getting texts being like, "Hey, dude, I'm just really hurting for money right now. Could you fucking Venmo me $50 or whatever?" I'm like, "Dude, of course, buddy."
I
Like,
got you, man. Yeah, for sure.
just a fucking bod building like a titanium body, some factory
Yeah.
somewhere. Hey, welcome to the podcast, guys. I think pods do better if you have
An intro?
An intro,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
No, I
Instead
kind of like
just-
you just come into the convo.
You know,
and
yeah, I
go.
think it's really good for the algorithm to come in with 15 minutes of a Linux talk. But
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. It's that's a niche market. We will get that is a market that will click on this.
probably get hacked, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, look, this guy's got open ports.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna be over there. But
But yeah, good intro.
yeah,
that's
great
good. That
intro.
counts as an intro.
Yeah.
But
hello.
hey, speaking of AI, did you hear the controversy with Google this
What
week?
happened?
What'd they do?
With Gemini. So like apparently they just dropped their new thing and it's fucking it's blowing GPT out of the water because GPT-4 is like insane. It's
Okay.
it's the best like for the imaging and the text prompt. It fucking it
Mhm.
crushes it. It's
Yeah.
it's better than anything else. Google's came out and it's like
Better
50
than-
times. It's 50 times better. Like they showed
Wow.
like a benchmark thing on like a bar graph and like this was like GPT and like fucking Gemini was like up here.
Does it
And
just have the most training
yeah,
data?
because
or-
Google has like all the data ever
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
ever been sent anywhere.
Yeah.
And so nobody can compete with that. And it also has like the context window is like how much of the chat it can remember when you're talking to it. So
Sure,
it'll
yeah.
know, it'll remember things that you've been saying to it.
Right.
And like GPT is like a couple 100,000 and this one's like over 1 million
Oh,
of
damn.
like, yeah, the characters that it can keep. And, but it does images too. And people have been trying to make it like, you know, do like, you know, have it make people and stuff. And it won't make white people. like it literally won't make white people. Like you'll say like make me a picture of like Vikings, and it'll be like Indian dudes and like Viking shit. Or you would say like make me pictures of the founding fathers, and it's like a black guy in like a tricorner hat. And like, or like make me a picture of the Pope and it's like an Indian woman. And like you like literally, I think they said like make me pictures of like the founders of some group or something. And they said it was like against the policy because all the founders were like white people. Like it literally can't. And it's because they were trying to make it like anti-racist. But like they so overcorrected that now it just won't make white people at all.
That's crazy.
It's insane. And so everybody's been like freaking out about that. And they like it won't even make images anymore. They like took it away because they're like, we're gonna work on that a little bit. We're gonna go back to the drawing board.
It's probably a good idea.
It's just crazy. Because like it does definitely bias making white people just because a large amount of the data set is white people. Because that's just who uses the internet, and that's what most art.
That's funny. They had to like shut it down because it wasn't inclusive enough to white people, though.
Yeah, well, they just like if they would have gotten it right, then it would have been like because GPT is pretty good. It'll do a good mix up. I think it's never like it does do it like a toss up, but it will do white people obviously. It doesn't say it's an error.
Yeah.
Well, what about that SOAR thing? Is that ChatGPT or is that? That's like their video, text to video, right?
It looks great, dude. When that comes out, we
could
probably make a show.
changer.
We could probably legitimately make like an animated
should.
show, like
Hell
with like
Claymation or
voice
something?
Yeah, people have been doing claymation shit already. It looks so fucking good. It's insane, and you can combine videos. Where they had one where it's like in the water with like you're like swimming around sharks and stuff, and they had one where it was a drone like going through a city, and they combined them to where it looked like sharks and shit were floating.
Oh, I saw
through
that.
The city.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like shit like that, and it looks so good. And it's
I
just
like that.
someone was saying like, how did we jump to that? Like, did I miss a middle step? Like, I feel like we went from like that Will Smith eating spaghetti video to like photorealistic shorelines from like drone footage.
All the drone footage looks like spot on.
Oh yeah.
Drone pilots are quaking. What are they gonna do?
Totally. Yeah.
What are they gonna do? They're done. Stock footage?
It's dead.
Who needs it?
Which is kind of nice. I don't have to pay some dick with a drone to like have a little B-roll and stuff.
True.
Oh yeah.
It does suck if that's your whole job. But
Yeah,
also, if
yeah.
that's your whole job, you've
Like
been
on there.
you've been milking it too hard.
Yeah. 100%.
You've been going to Milan or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Flying
fuck
drones.
Shutterstock.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying for that either.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm not. My heart's not hurting for them too much. I'm gonna be honest. All those fucking watermarks.
They're fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jobs like that where it's like, you guys have been getting away with this for too long.
Yeah, this has been a racket. And you know it for like way too long.
For sure, man.
Did you watch that? I just watched the South Park Into the Panderverse one. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
They've been doing these one-off movie ones.
Well,
where
that's
it's
what
like-
that's what the whole thing you were saying sounded like, where it's the AI won't code white people. It sounds like it's the lady
It's,
from
no, literally, it's
whatever
the
that,
Panderverse.
what's that lady's name? The one.
Oh,
Cartman-
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, it sounds like Kathleen Kennedy programmed the AI.
Yeah. Dude, that was killing me bad. It was such a funny episode.
I like that they're doing a long form. Like they're able to do like a movie length South
Yeah,
Park episode.
they don't do the regular seasons, right?
Yeah, no,
Do
the
they?
last like 4 or 5, I think, have just been like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's kind of more like one theme.
Yeah.
they
Well,
can
it's so
kinda
easy
play
to
with.
make now. I feel like they can probably churn those out a lot easier.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's still like the highest bar of like social satire. Like
Yeah,
it still is like
for sure. Yeah.
And they do such a good job of making both sides seem stupid. Where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you can it's almost like it's like one of those optical illusions where like depending on your perspective you can see it a certain way where you're like, oh, this is like anti-woke shit. But if you're like on the other side, you're like, oh, they're like making fun of like redneck people who think this is cool. Like
Yeah.
it's like both at the same time. It's so weird.
Did you watch the one where it was like that he was trying to like fix his stove
That's
door?
the one I'm talking about. Where all the white collar workers are now like at Home Depot, like trying
waving
to get
their
work.
like diplomas at in the street.
Because
Why?
AI replaces
Oh, I see.
all
Yeah,
white
yeah,
collar
yeah.
work, and so now all the handymen are loaded because no one knows how to
Yeah,
do shit.
for sure,
and
yeah.
they're all rich as shit.
They're building like
Yeah.
spaceships and like going to space with each other and be like, my
Yeah,
rocket's
yeah.
bigger than your rocket. Fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Which is like that is gonna be the case. Like white collar work is like we have brains now. We have an automated brain, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's hard to automate motorized shit right now. Or like
yeah, it's
real
way harder to
physical.
make a robot that actually can like turn a screwdriver and like can see all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
I heard that the robot shit. What's those videos you see of them like doing parkour and like
Oh, yeah,
flipping
yeah.
around? What is
oh,
that?
what are they?
Like Berkeley. It's some college. What is
Yeah,
it?
the little spot robot. What are
Yeah,
they
the
called?
dog one is apparently sick, but the
Boston Dynamics. I
Boston
think?
Dynamics. So apparently, I heard that whole thing is like a massive.
Didn't they
scam.
make the Chinese robot cop
Did they?
robot?
There's a RoboCop?
It's like a RoboCop dog, and it was in China, and I think that they got their design or whatever from Boston Dynamics.
It's the little dog thing.
And it's like it was telling people to go in their house during COVID.
That's terrifying.
And it was like if it saw people out,
did see
it'd
that.
be on their ass. It's
Wasn't
like
it
a little Jack
spraying?
Russell Terrier.
Wasn't it spraying that shit too, like the antimicrobial shit?
Yeah, yeah.
It was the most dystopian
It's like
thing I've ever
sanitizing
seen.
shit, and it's like
That is
get
fucked
back
up.
in your house.
Yeah, spraying this gas,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
dude.
crazy.
Yeah. And it's like empty streets with just robot dogs.
Like neon, like lights.
yeah,
and shit,
dude.
Chinese.
It's got lights on it. Yeah.
That's messed up.
Dude, it was pretty wild.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
It shoots a net out at a guy and fucking electrifies them and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
drags him away.
Yeah. A van comes, it just like shoots a net on him with like an air tag on it, and the van comes and just picks him up.
Fucked up.
Throws the guy in
Yeah,
and
yeah.
zoom away. It's that thing from Metal Gear Solid that just shoots you into the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
atmosphere.
Oh, that thing's sick, dude.
Yeah, the
and then the
balloon.
plane comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's messed
That
up.
was the coolest mechanic in any game.
Oh, it's badass, dude.
You can pull up cars, put them on your oil rig,
Yeah, yeah.
enslave guys.
Yeah.
You just sneak up behind him and you fucking like you work for me now.
Yeah, and it was some. They tried to they were like, no, this technology really existed in the Cold War.
Yeah,
They were like,
the airlift
because
shit.
they were trying to pick up like paratroopers that got stuck.
The
or
Skyhook.
whatever.
That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
Batman,
like in
right?
Batman.
Yeah,
Same stuff,
Batman.
It's the same thing. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid, they were like, this is real military technology, dude.
Okay.
You could, yeah, dude. And you just stick a little suction cup thing onto a Jeep.
Yeah, and it sucks it up. And a plane is just scooping this Jeep up.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
be like tanker trucks and shit. Or you hook it to a guy's belt loop and he like shoots him into the sky.
For sure. It was badass, dude.
It was cool. I think you could do it to yourself, right?
Yeah,
Couldn't you like?
Yeah, that's how you got out of like certain missions or.
That's right. You could get in the car. You could
Yeah,
hook it
yeah.
to the cars, and you could get in the car, and it would shoot it.
Yeah.
So
And they'll take you back
emergency evac.
Yeah, because you were like building an oil rig
Yeah.
with like all these defenses, and you could invade other people's oil rigs and try
Yeah.
to fuck their shit up.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's
Like
Metal Gear
online.
Solid. That is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the newest
five, 6, whatever
I
the
think it was
fuck
5.
that one
Yeah,
is.
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was-
it's called.
You had a rocket fist. You
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
robot
yeah,
arm. You
yeah.
could shoot your rocket fist off and guide it around and punch people in
Damn,
the
that
face.
sounds sick.
Yeah, it made the $6 million man sound when you punched him. It was,
Yeah, that game was badass.
Fuck
It
the
was awesome.
snake, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, I feel like Smash Bros. Did him dirty because in my head I was like, that's just the dude that like hides in a box.
He's-
occasionally.
yeah, the guy pulls out a whole mortar.
No, but he really is just the guy that hides in a box.
That is like his main, like
Yeah,
his main attribute.
go-to
And the
move.
exclamation point guy. That's like his two
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, those games rule.
They really do. It was cool. That game had like AI built into the like the way that the enemy AI worked was it would react to how you are actually playing. So like if you were going around with a tranquilizer dart thing and you kept shooting people in the head, tranquilizing them, then
would start
then
putting
they'd start wearing helmets.
That's
dude.
right, dude. I
Wow, it's
forgot
like
about
learning.
that.
Yeah, but if you weren't doing that and you were doing like a knife thing or whatever, then they would like start wearing knife resistant clothes, shit like that.
Damn.
They would learn your play style. and be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck
I don't like
you."
that. I
It's
like-
pretty cool.
fuck that.
Yeah, you found like some little light. Like, oh, I can just always just dome them in the head. They're like,
Yeah.
nope, helmets now. And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was crazy. I forgot about that.
Because they're talking. They're like, the guys at these 5 other outposts they all got shot in the head. And they're like, well, fuck that. I'm wearing
Put
a
a helmet
helmet.
on.
Right.
Dude, that's crazy.
I gotta do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
doing
back.
that.
I'm gonna go home and play that game.
Yeah,
That game
it's a pretty
rules.
cool game. Man.
I forgot about that.
Well, now they're
game.
gonna start doing AI like NPCs, where it's like the dialogue between.
Yeah,
like, you're
yeah.
having like.
For sure.
They've done that. Have you seen the videos?
No, I didn't know that.
But
Is
I
that,
think
like,
that's
happening?
sick, dude.
I thought
It's
they were
pre-
gonna do it for like GTA and
Well,
stuff.
people are pissed because like voice actors are like, what
Well,
the fuck?
yeah, yeah.
But
Oh,
also
yeah.
like, shut up, you know.
Yeah. I don't really care about that. I want a good game.
Yeah, I just don't. Any argument against technology that's like, but what about the jobs? It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like everybody's always said that throughout all of fucking
Yeah,
history.
and it's like you'll find a
You'll
job.
figure it out.
People won't aspire to be that anymore because that job won't exist. They'll aspire to be something else.
Now
and
you gotta
that's-
quit being the voice actor. Start being play the game and stream it.
Yeah, learn how to, learn how
Yeah.
to make AI.
Be a
Yeah,
streamer. Yeah. Why
Yeah.
didn't you invent AI, dumbass?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, did the carriage drivers just starve when the car came out?
Right.
They're like, fuck, I guess I'm just fucked. I guess
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do.
Probably a couple of them, right?
I mean, idiots.
Dumbasses. yeah.
Fools, probably.
but then those people probably kept it going for a while, and then they retired, and their kids didn't aspire to be that.
Yeah. They were like, oh, this is actually stupid.
They're like, I'll drive a taxi.
yeah, I'll learn how to get
That'll
the
never
fucking
go out of business.
driver's license. I'll be safe forever. Speaking of which, I just rewatched Taxi Driver.
Oh, it's so good.
Pretty
dude.
cool.
So fucking
That movie's
good.
great.
I mean, so good.
He's got the gun on the door
That's
slide.
yeah, the Assassin's Creed gun. That's
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
badass.
Back then, that's some high level shit.
Yeah,
is it.
did he make that, or is that a thing that you can buy?
I think he made it, right? Wasn't it?
I think he did. Like he was tinkering in his fucking apartment. That's such a good movie because it's
yeah.
like,
He's just creeping on that chick, dude. He's like outside of her work and shit.
yeah,
He came into her work.
yeah. Well, then they like went on a date.
Yeah,
but then he was just a
yeah.
freak.
And the whole time they're on the date, she's like, I don't think I want to be here.
He took her to a porno.
Yeah.
Remember? He took her to a porn movie, and he was like, "I didn't know. I thought you'd like it. I don't know much about movies."
Yeah.
He says that. He's
But
like,
dude,
"I'm sorry, I don't know about movies."
Weirdest dude of all time, man.
That's crazy.
And multiple women say that to him. They're
Yeah,
like, "You're
yeah.
a weird guy," you know
Yeah.
that?
For sure.
Yeah, and then he's got the whole like Madonna whore thing where like the main girl, the first one, like the voting one is like the pure like, oh, she's just like she's wearing white all the time, and
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, he's always talking about how gross the city is, and she's like this like shining bastion of like purity or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he starts getting with the other girl who's like a prostitute or whatever, like a literal prostitute,
yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna save her,
And
like
then
I'm
he's
gonna
the
like.
he ends up killing motherfuckers for her, dude.
Yeah, shoots that guy in the neck or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Spoilers, man. If you haven't
This
seen
movie that came out fucking 40
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
More than 40.
De
dude.
Niro's that was what, like 70 something,
Yeah,
76
so-
or
yeah.
something.
And now dudes on TikTok are playing like funk compilations, and they're like, "Dude, I'm this guy. I'm literally this dude. This is me in real life."
It's weird how people make like those comps for like the worst movie characters become like all like the American Psycho.
Joker,
Yeah.
American Psycho.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy from Blade Runner, he's cool, but like,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
he's a
kind of
good guy,
rape
right?
Rachel. I
Oh,
mean, I
in
don't
the
know
old
if we're
one,
allowed
yeah.
to say that word.
100%.
Yeah.
That
like,
scene
in
is
the original
rough
Blade
to
Runner?
watch.
It's
now.
like I'm not. It's weird because it's like I can't tell if she wants to do it, but she can't do intimacy because she's potentially a replicant. Well, I guess Blade Runner 2049 confirms she's a replicant, so she's a replicant.
Oh, that's
so
right.
maybe she just can't do intimacy.
like that's part of the programming.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's going to be programmed in for sure.
And
Like,
then-
that's going to be one of the main functions of the replicants for sure.
But then you would make certain ones unable to do it so that they can
Oh.
fucking keep their head straight,
I could see that.
right?
It would it's an odd thing to write in and not explain if that's the reason. You'd think they would
Well,
have
like
a
half
point to
the
be like.
movie's not explained.
But I also read the book and I don't remember
Oh,
anything
okay.
in there being like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can't. I think that was just the 80s. And they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's just having sex.
'Cause
The
when
woman's like, get off.
Because
me."
honestly, the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, she wants to do this. She does love this dude, but she can't because she's a fucking robot." And then someone later told me they were like, "Dude, remember that time he fucking just started having sex with this chick that didn't want it?" And I was like, "Oh, I just didn't see it that way." But when you say it like that, dude, that is what happened.
100%. I literally, I think that was just the dynamic
no,
back then, and they
no,
didn't
but
think it
then-
was weird. It was like that's just how that goes.
But
like,
then,
That'd be just Harrison Ford, dude.
but it was written,
I feel like Indiana
they
Jones.
try to cut it. They're like, dude, stop.
but then Blade Runner 2049 comes out, and they confirmed that they did love each other, and they fucking had children and shit.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, but isn't the guy the replicant in the new one? Isn't he like an incel? Like, can't he not fuck the whores?
Well,
Remember?
he's not a replicant.
He is,
Or-
isn't he? He does the yeah.
No. He's a replicant, but he's not the born replicant of the.
Oh, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But there's a thing where he like goes
No,
to see
you're
the
right.
whores, and they're like, he's like, I don't do that or something.
Yeah,
Remember?
skin job or whatever they call him.
Yeah.
They call him skin jobs, I
Yeah.
think. But they were like, they're talking shit to him. And they're like, what are you even doing here? Because they know he's a replicant.
Right. Like,
But
do they not
then-
have dicks?
That could be it.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's what the case.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then he just is like has that weird parasocial thing with his Siri, where he goes out in the rain
Yeah.
with her.
But then, yeah. Well, but that was pretty cool because he hires the whore.
That was such a
and
cool
put
scene.
the
to sync up with
hologram
it.
on top of
The
her.
worker, you mean?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was a really cool scene. I did like that.
Yeah, that shit was
sick.
tight. I love that movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like one of my favorite movies.
That was my favorite movie for a while. The 2049
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like my number one for
It's
the lighting and the music
dude,
and the
yeah,
dum, dum,
100%. It's like one of my favorite movies.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
The synth and like the whole ambiance of it.
Everything.
And the music was so good.
So good.
The sirens and shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I fucking I love that movie.
Yeah.
And then Barbie came out, and it's
right. Obviously got dethroned, but
Yeah.
it was good while it lasted.
Yeah,
Yeah, that movie was so fucking good.
yeah,
The old one was good too, but
for sure.
I feel like it just did all the stuff that
The old
people
ones
liked.
have,
I think
about
it's
the first
just better.
one. I agree. That's what I told my dad, and he's like, "Nah,
Oh,
it's not the same." And
but
I was like, "It's just better." In
I'm a
every way.
huge fan of Blade Runner, but I feel, and I was like, this is one of my favorite movies. And then Blade Runner 2049 came out, and I was like, I think it's just better.
It's just it is just as because the one bad part about the original is the pacing.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so bad. It's
Yeah.
so slow, and if you show it to anybody now,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just like, "This is fucking."
Unless they
about
just like
nothing.
love noir detective shit. They're not gonna love it.
No No, literally. You need a very specific like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, do you like the 50s?
Right. Yeah, you in the 50s, but the future.
That's such a tough sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout, but before
Yeah.
it went to shit.
Just
like,
guys drinking and smoking
yeah, and it's always
for 3
ringing.
minutes
Yeah.
and saying like 3 words, dude. Yeah.
Which also another of my favorite movies, Drive, is
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
movie
100%.
is Ryan Gosling just like looking at people
Yeah.
while synth music plays. Like that's like so much. There's a page of dialogue I think for the
yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but
So
I love,
sick. Though.
I love
Great movie. Yeah.
I'm a big style over
Yeah, me
over,
too. Yeah.
over substance for movies.
For
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
You know.
You seen Cape Fear? You know that other De Niro.
Pretty good.
Cape Fear is a great De Niro.
Big fan.
I think we turned it off because we turned it on one night and we were with a lot of girls that we didn't know that well.
Oh, that's a tough
And
movie
we
to
were
put
like,
on
this might be a
that's-
turn off.
yeah.
This might not.
Like,
be
dude, you're
a-
scaring the hoes.
Yeah, literally a scare in the hose moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to go ahead and shut that
That
off.
is that's kind of a scary movie for sure.
I gotta go
for
back.
sure.
I
It's
gotta
like-
go back.
Not cool.
It is very not cool for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta go back. It's a good one.
It's like, yeah, getting a bunch of like chicks, you like partying, kinda, chill little
Yeah.
time. Dudes are trying to fuck is really what's going on, and you're like, let's put on Clockwork Orange.
I'm not
It's like,
kidding.
no, that movie's not cool, dude.
Dude,
I have a
the
friend.
milk bar. That's sick, dude.
No,
Chicks
that,
love
that
the
part
milk
is
bar.
cool. That's the first
That's the
2
first
minutes.
minute, yeah.
I just love Kubrick. What's wrong? I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
It's art. What's wrong, man?
No, it's just not cool, man. When he kills that dude with the giant dick statue,
Yeah, that's cool.
that's pretty badass.
That's a cool scene.
I like their mask. They got the big nose mask.
a lot of it's cool.
Yeah,
But overall, dude, not cool.
Someone puts on
Scary.
Eyes Wide Shut.
yeah. Not good movies to try to get laid to, I think is what we're saying.
We should make a list of that. There
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
a comprehensive list
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like not getting laid
Yeah.
movies.
I one time I made a playlist that was like, it was like, I put it as like fucking music or whatever, but it was like the opposite. And
Make
so
them leave music.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Pussy drying music.
yeah, and it's like the national anthem. Just all these songs you wouldn't want to fuck.
The
to.
national
Yeah,
anthem.
the
is
national
awesome.
anthem.
if it's 4th of July, maybe.
Start saluting.
yeah.
That rules.
What's that song? Like the Crazy Frog song.
Yeah.
Or like,
What about
Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe?
Imagine
is
smashing the Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah. Or
Pretty
This
good
Is
time.
America. yeah.
Or they bow bow.
yeah.
But you sync it up.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
bow bow.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
That was a fun playlist.
Yeah, speaking of Eyes Wide Shut, though, I'm sure you know about this. The conspiracy with that?
What's up?
You know about the conspiracy?
Maybe.
No.
The whole
I think
thing?
I need more information.
There's like lost footage with it.
Oh,
Like apparently they cut like an hour or something of footage, and it was because it was like showing some shit he shouldn't have been showing. That was like deep state, like
Real stuff?
yeah,
Oh.
because the whole stuff's like fucking elite,
Yeah, yeah,
mask
yeah.
on party fucking and shit, and I think the theory is there was like some like it had like some political figures in it that were like fucking or something, and it was real. I don't know.
Oh.
Because Kubrick's like all in that shit. The moon landing, all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit. They all connected to fucking Kubrick for some reason.
Yeah.
because
He works for the government.
because he made good movies and he did like a lot of weird.
He just made the
symbolism.
best space movie for the time.
Yeah,
Forever,
yeah.
2001.
It is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's crazy that came out before Star Wars, and Star
Yeah.
Wars didn't even look as good.
That's still insane looking. Like the fact
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like those shots, it's still like, what
Yeah.
is this? Like this is. You
yeah,
could-
the space station.
you can
and
release it
shit looks
today.
It's
so
like
good.
it's like Gravity.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's like not.
But it's old as hell. Like
Yeah.
compared to Gravity.
yeah.
It's like he was
For
doing
sure.
that in the 70s.
Yeah, and it's all real. Like, none of it's CGI.
Yeah,
Way
he actually
better
went to
movie
space.
than Gravity.
Right,
Way better
right,
movie.
yeah,
But
plot-wise.
like visually. Yeah,
Yes.
It's like similar to Gravity. But that shit came out so long ago, dude.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it was like the '60s or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Your boy wasn't fucking around.
No,
Wow.
he would do like what was it, like 172 takes, like for one.
I remember
scene and
watching
shit.
For The
this.
Shining, he did that. Yeah.
I remember watching this bullshit ass. I feel like this shit is all bullshit. This Netflix thing. It was some series about.
Room 831.
Yeah, about all the, and they try to put meaning to everything, dude. They're like, he chose these carpets
Mhm.
because
This Indian, this Native American, like, oh, this is symbolism for this
Yeah.
massacre that happened in like the
Yeah.
Civil War.
yeah, and like the parallels between that massacre and Jack going crazy, and the darkness and the snow and all
like
this.
the time corresponds to this date that happened in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, I think the whole point of that was just like to show how widely people can interpret movies and how you can just add your own meaning into anything.
That's not why they made the thing.
No.
They made the thing because they believed in it.
But wasn't it like? But it was showing a bunch of different theories, right?
Yeah. Like each episode or whatever. I don't know if it was episodes.
I thought it was one long
or
thing and they cut
could have
in
been, but it
between.
could have been cut into sections. Whatever. But each like section was a different theory, but it was about a different thing too. It'd be like, this is the carpets.
They had
We're
some,
talking
like,
about carpets
thing
for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're talking about wallpaper.
Yeah.
We're talking about the girls, what the reason they're traveling in this direction
Yeah,
as opposed to that
forgot.
direction.
They were doing the maps.
Yeah.
They would show like a top down view as the person was walking through the hotel, and they would show the turns they were making, and they were like, it doesn't make any
Impossible
sense.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
they turn left 5 times. They would be going in a circle. Like, this doesn't make
Yeah,
any
yeah.
sense.
You know, there's just some set designer watching it like, ooh, I didn't think anyone would.
Yeah. And that's what
to
it
this
is.
level.
Is it's like, this hotel is not the real life hotel.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
Yeah, dude. They have a different name. The hotel is a different name in real life. It's not the same.
I did go to the hotel. The
I've
room
been
in
there
real
too,
life.
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
go to the room where he
No,
like wrote?
We only went into the lobby area because you got to like pay.
Where
for
is it?
whatever. It's in Denver, outside of Denver.
Colorado?
Yeah,
in the mountains.
yeah.
I got a little coin. It was
Forget what
sick.
it's called. SD Park.
Yeah.
Estes? SD?
Estes.
Estes
Yeah,
Park.
Estes Park.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Great
It was
place.
so pretty. Yeah, there's this whole courtyard. And, like,
Amazing,
statues and
dude.
shit.
Do they have that
The hedge maze?
The hedge maze?
It's like this tall, dude.
Yeah, it's.
Oh.
Didn't they add it? Because
I
could
of the
find my
movie?
way
Yeah,
through
and they put it there because of the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
originally.
yeah.
That's crap.
Yeah.
But it's got a weird energy. Like, it does
Oh,
have a weird.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It feels like, yeah, rich people would go in that mountain hotel and have.
Did
a
they
crazy
film any
time.
of it there, or like some of it was filmed there, or
think so.
no?
Like the outdoor
establishing
shots.
shots?
I think the outdoor shots
Yeah,
were filmed there.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like the helicopter shot in the
Yeah.
beginning or whatever.
it feels
Yeah.
like a lot of like buildings in like Eureka. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like that kind of era.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's creaky. And
Similar
like,
to like the Crescent Hotel, though,
Yeah,
I would say.
exactly.
Which is creepy as fuck. The Crescent Hotel, very creepy.
which I didn't even know had actual like dark shit going
Oh, people
on.
got killed and shit.
I didn't know about any of that.
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah.
went to like a museum.
what happened at the Crescent Hotel?
They were just murdering patients and like telling
And-
people they
and-
got better.
And I think one guy jumped off a
crazy.
balcony or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like
It's a
there was
crazy doctor.
murders, there was people dying. Yeah, and then
Get
they
thrown
tried to
off
cover
a
it
balcony?
potentially,
Yeah.
or like off the roof, something like that.
Mm.
And they were trying to say, yeah, they were trying to tell people that like, no, the people were fine, they didn't die or whatever.
They're here.
Yeah, because
Can we talk to them later?
yeah.
They don't want to talk right now.
I worked
Yeah.
on this guy's house in Eureka. When I was working for like I was a contractor or whatever, and just the whole time I was like talking to the guy, and he was like filling me in on all the crazy like Eureka lore,
Yeah.
and apparently like the water like used to heal people, like
Yeah.
it used to really make people better, and that's why they used to like that's why they opened the hospital and they used to send people up there to like drink the water, and the Native Americans like knew about it for a while.
Yeah.
That there was like something about the water there was like nice,
Hmm.
and then they opened up that fucking hospital, and this guy just started like murdering all of his patients and
Yeah.
like telling people they were like getting better and they were fine.
Just had lead in it or something.
Yeah, or no, I think he was killing them. Like I think he was literally like
Yeah,
murdering them,
I could see that. Yeah.
Wow.
or it was like some lead shit.
And then now the natural water there is not even safe to drink anymore.
I didn't hear
So-
about that.
so
That's
it's like-
crazy.
Yeah, it's been like that for like 10, 20 years, something.
What happened to it?
They just, from all the shit going on, industrialization and shit.
That'll
But
do
it's
it.
crazy how it's like people moved there because the water was good,
And they ruined it.
and then they ruined the water.
Their presence
And they're
ruined
still
it.
living there, though.
Mhm.
Now they're just sucking each other up. There's rainbow flags everywhere. It's cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
that
a
is
fun
cool.
place.
It's a-
a lot
yeah.
of beaded jewelry.
Did you go to that place where the
Everyone, it's like
Leather.
romancing the stone. Like
Yeah.
started walking.
Did you go to the place where there's like a bunny that will flip you your coins
Yes,
over the
dude,
counter?
I
What
did
are you
go
talking
there.
about? A real bunny?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a shop where they got like a rabbit
He
that
works
like
there.
literally.
It's like Hogwarts.
Yeah, literally, he works there.
You go buy like a pack of gum. And
employed.
it give, like
He's
it-
got a W-2.
it's kind of sad. It's not. It's kind of sad. It's not as cool as like when you're like telling people were telling me about.
Well,
it,
he's a
like,
wage slave.
Well, yeah, they like
he's stuck in the
they,
rat
like,
race.
hold him
dude.
up against the counter and they're like, push the coin.
Fucking
push
do
the
it.
fucking coin.
They
And
start
he, like,
flicking him.
he takes a couple tries and like kicks it off the counter. I'm like, all right, I guess I
What?
gotta pick my coins off the
Yeah.
ground now.
So what exactly is happening? A rabbit?
Stupid rabbit hitting a coin off.
There's just like the owners up front of the at the cashier,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, and like there's a rabbit up there with him. And when you buy something, he'll like be like, here you go, and like give the coins to the rabbit, and the rabbit kind of like kicks them like across the counter to you. And it's really not that cool.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really a
It's
lot
such
more
a stupid
sad.
gimmick.
I thought they were training a rabbit to give you your change or something.
That's what it's promoted.
well, I
as.
know, but
That's what people
I
are
thought the
going
rabbit's going in the drawer.
That,
not like- it's not
working the register.
Yeah, yeah.
punching in keys and
He's
things.
POS trained.
Yeah, dude.
It's holding one of those little scanners.
This is why we need to stop tipping, dude. If a rabbit can do your job,
I didn't.
I'm
tip.
not
I'm
tipping. I'm not tipping.
Yeah.
That's the new test.
yeah,
They
yeah.
bring in a rabbit to see if they can fucking do the whole job.
Hell yeah.
No, it's literally
Some
just.
hippies could train a rabbit to do it.
Damn, that is true. That's just
Yeah.
clout on its own. Yeah, it's just so you go and you tell your friends like, "Hey, did you go to the place where the rabbit works there?"
That's
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Because they don't
dude.
even have anything I really want.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
I mean, it worked. We just told all 5,000 listeners about it.
Damn, they're all gonna go now.
Yeah.
It's just like souvenir shit.
Yeah.
I hope the guy who owns it is watching this.
No, those guys don't have the
He's taking
internet.
some points.
That dude is not.
If they do, it's like a hamster wheel that like
Yeah.
fucking turns a modem or something.
Every single thing he uses is some form of animal enslavement.
It's all animal powered. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything's
dude.
animal powered.
Yeah.
His car is just a bunch of hamsters.
He grinds his own grain. He's got a silo. Dude, fucking windmills were sick.
Yeah,
No one
that's
talks
pretty
about-
cool.
They're still
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. I think about them sometimes, and I'm like, do they actually work? Like I look at them sometimes, and I'm like, there's no way this shit actually was
Wait, are
grinding
you-
shit up.
You mean? Oh, okay. You're talking like the actual, not with the wind turbines, like a real like.
Well,
the
and then
Dutch
I'm like,
windmills.
and then they're turning electricity. I'm not even convinced they're grinding grain up with these
You're
things.
telling me they're making power?
Yeah, dude.
You're telling me that's electricity?
Dude, I remember I was stopped at the stoplight and there's a windmill and I'm sitting there just staring at it for like 2 minutes and I was like, "There's no way this shit worked." Like
I refuse.
I
to-
don't
this is-
believe it.
This is an insurance scam.
And people
for
were
sure.
doing this all over the world, dude.
Yeah.
And to grind grain.
I've seen the inside, and it's just like a mortar and pestle.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the extent of the technology. It's
Yeah.
just
I mean,
an automated mortar and
well,
pestle.
no, it makes sense that it worked. Like it's a
You
It's a
understand
stone
it
wheel?
mechanically.
right.
yeah, but then how the fuck is that getting enough power to turn a stone wheel? Like this thing.
Yeah, there's
It's
enough
catching
wind,
wind?
going through these
Yeah,
like
no,
little
no.
wooden wicker
not buying it,
wicker
dude.
fins that you have on. The
I'm not fucking buying it, dude. They had slaves out there like Conan,
Yeah,
and they
for-
told you it's a windmill.
Or they did the carrot and horse move, which is such a hack.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a.
That
I
is a
mean,
big hack.
that might be the first code loop. Is putting a fucking carrot in front of a horse.
Yeah.
Damn. That is such a hack. Like I feel like the first guy to figure that out, it was like, fuck,
Oh, yeah.
how did we not think of that?
That
That's
guy
so
rules
sick.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably didn't get compensated nearly enough.
No, for sure. There was no IP law back then, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
It was the rule of like, if
It's
I
not
can,
named something, you know.
Right.
It would be named
Yeah,
after him, you
yeah.
know.
and there's a name for inventions that you can see and know immediately how they work. I don't know what it's called, but like the bow and arrow is one of those where like all it takes is just seeing somebody with one and you're like, I can make one of those. I understand the whole
Yeah, yeah.
inner workings of that immediately. That's why everybody like around the planet has always invented like bow and arrows.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's weird that there's like inventions that like everybody invents like that.
Mm.
You know, like cart and horse, like stuff like that.
And to be honest, I don't understand how they're getting water. Windmills, don't they use them to pull water out of the ground or some shit?
I
Or
think there's
some
water
kind of-
wheels, right?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. None of that shit makes sense. How are they getting water out of the ground, dude?
Yeah, could you use
None
a
of
water
that
wheel
shit
to like
makes
lift
sense.
water?
I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
That's crazy.
I couldn't even dig a hole. I couldn't even dig
Yeah,
the
like,
hole you need
whales
to
don't
dig that's
even-
straight enough down.
Whales really don't even.
I'd
make
dig a
sense.
trench and be like, "Fuck, I've dug way too much hole.
Yeah, dude.
My hole has expanded too much."
Yeah, I built a ditch like to the river.
I'm like, how do I get this shit uphill?
Like waterworks. I'm doing waterworks.
Yeah,
This is a project.
But getting water out of the ground, I don't know. None of that shit makes sense to me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like a divining rod or like people that do that?
I
Kind
thought
of shit?
those are fake though.
I think they're real.
I think they're fake.
I've met like a farmer who
You think
swears
windmills
by
are
it.
fake?
I thought they
No,
were
no, no, no.
Let's
Do you
see
no.
think
the pattern here.
windows are fake?
No, windmills.
Windows are fake for sure.
I'm
Several.
not
No.
buying that.
No,
There's
dude.
no way.
That's just a painting glued to
That's some Looney Tunes horse shit. I'm not falling for that.
Dive through
No,
it and
no.
bust my face
the
up.
divining rods. Though I think I looked into this. I could be wrong, dude, but I'm pretty sure I looked into them, years ago, and people were like, "No, these things are." People are just guessing.
Look, and I think I looked it up too, and there's some explanation for it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have a new thing where I think that there's some stuff that measuring it makes it not work. Where like I think there's certain things
Because
that
that's what they
you
say.
can't check.
That's
And
what the
if you-
farmers and shit are
Literally, I think there might be shit that like because we know there's like the Michelson-Morley. Oh no, that's not it. It's the slit experiment where they shot the waves through, and when you're looking at it, they're particles, and when you're not looking at it, it's a wave.
Oh right, yeah.
So
yeah,
shit
yeah.
clearly works differently when you're measuring it.
Like
So why wouldn't there
observing
be phenomenon that like if you're not checking it, it works, but as soon as you go to like see if it's consistent or like you're trying to control for it and do the scientific method.
Yeah.
Something about that like makes it not work anymore or something. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Because there's a lot of shit like that like people
That's crazy.
swear by it and they have crazy stories about it.
No, for sure.
And then you go in, they're like, there's all these fucking tests. Like, what are you
there's
talking
people who are like, I find water 1,000 out of 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad did this, my dad's dad did this, my dad's dad's dad. Generations of motherfuckers with divining rods, sticking them in the ground, water every time. That's what they say. And then they're like, well, show me how it works. And they're like, well, dude, it's the
I
fucking
can't do it.
rocks and the grass and the way the wind is blowing. And then
Measuring those just messed stuff up. It is.
I don't believe
I've
that.
had to measure my penis several times, and I'm like, this shit is.
yeah.
Nah, this is not right.
The equipment must be scrambled.
This ruler is really freaking something out. This is throwing off the balance of the universe somehow.
Or maybe people have a thing where you can just know where water is and it's placebo and they think it's these fucking rods. But
That's what I'm thinking.
We have
Like
an
an
innate
extra
ability to
sense,
find
maybe?
water.
Yeah.
We just
I
know
like
how to find
that.
water like that.
Or context of like where the water has been found previously.
Oh, right. Like there's a waterfall over here. There's probably water under the ground maybe.
Well, no, I mean like the way the last 1,000 dudes found whales. They were like, maybe we look for a similar situation
right.
to the last 1,000 whales.
Right. They're like, oh, there's a valley here. There's like hills and
Yeah,
stuff. And it's
yeah.
like, okay, shit would kind of congregate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could see that too. But what's the rod for? Is that just for
Yeah,
showmanship?
I don't know. But what's weird is they've been doing it for a long
That's what makes me
time.
think it's real.
It's got to work. I mean, yeah.
if
yeah.
it's that
I'm
old-
super skeptical. Windmills, I'm just bullshitting. That thing, I'm skeptical.
And back then, it would be like, this doesn't fucking work. We're not
And
doing
so
this
we're not
anymore.
doing
Like,
it
this
anymore.
sucks. Like,
100%.
yeah.
Almost any of the shit that's that old it works.
Yes,
dude.
100%.
But it's weird with that shit. The divining rod thing is because it's like, why can you not prove how it works?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's like the astral projection thing too, where like you can't prove if you try to prove it like working, it doesn't work. But then you hear people be like, "Yeah, I like went into this place and I was like able to like know things that were in there, and then I went in and like I knew the shit that was in there and stuff."
No way, dude. I mean, come on. You can't even. Those are
Have you
in
heard
two
how-
separate categories, dude.
Have you heard of people? Because have you heard how they do they'll do experiments where they have people who say they can do it, and they'll write a note and they'll put it on the top of like a shelf. And they'll be like, "Hey, astrally project and like tell me what that note says."
And then they
And
do it?
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying like maybe it's because they're trying to check it.
Oh, yeah.
And if you
Because they're
hear-
being observed.
Yes,
They can't do it.
Because if you hear how they do it, it's insane. It's like
No,
you
yeah.
wait till you're about to fall asleep, and then you're supposed to roll out of your bed, but not like your body. Your like mind like rolls out
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
like your fucking body, like
Yeah.
right in that middle point when you're falling asleep.
You're in
and
this
you can,
weird, like, lucid dream,
yes,
but still physical.
which is what they think it is. They think
Yeah,
it's just people
yeah.
lucid dreaming and thinking they're like flying
Yeah.
around and shit, which
But,
is
like,
likely.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely don't believe in mentalists. But have you ever seen any of that shit, dude? You seen a mentalist?
It's still impressive. It's
No, I don't understand it.
like how they do it.
Yeah, what the fuck
there's
is going on?
If you watch someone do they'll go through the tricks they do, where it's like you ask for certain names, or you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
watch their eyes when you go through
Yeah,
these
yeah.
letters, and like you can,
Like a mentalist will be like on the street, finding random people on the street, and they'll be like, "Hey, you, ma'am, do you have a dog?" And then they'll be like, "Yeah, I got a dog." And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna guess your dog's name." And then she's like, "Okay." And he's like, "What's your brother's name?" And then she says, and he's like, "Where do you work?" She's like, "Walmart or whatever." And then he's like, "How much do you make?" And then she answers that. And he's like, "What's your favorite color?" And then she answers that. And then he goes, "Your dog's name is Sparky." And she's like, "What the fuck? How'd you know my fucking dog's name?"
Damn,
It's
dude.
crazy.
I assume there's just 1,000 outtakes of him just going up to 1,000 other people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
think I heard it's like a probability thing where they ask you enough questions to where it narrows it down to like you might get it wrong, but it's likely it's like one of these 5 things based on
But that
these
is still
facts or
nuts.
something.
But
Like-
some of the shit they guess, they can like guess your phone number.
Mhm.
And
that's crazy.
like that's a lot of digits
Yeah.
to just get right.
I think there's like facial tells because like I've seen them be like, you know, like count down from 10, be like 9876, be like
Yeah,
the first
but
number is 6.
That's only if they're doing that kind. But I'm saying like they're asking unrelated questions.
Yeah.
They're like, "What's your favorite planet?" And
There
they're
is
like,
a weird
"Mars."
thing I remember.
Uranus, clearly.
yeah. Always the best choice.
There is a weird thing where like if you if somebody's trying to hide something from you, like if you have like a piece of candy in one hand,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
close both hands, there's this weird thing where people will like slightly point their nose towards the hand that they have the thing in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I used to do this magic trick where you can like have people hide a quarter, and like you can guess it with like pretty high probability just based on like the way their nose is kind of pointed.
Damn, you were almost a mentalist.
No, honestly,
if you would have kept going down that route,
I should have pursued it.
Holy
honestly.
shit!
No, and we went to New York one time, and we went to this weird building. We were like trying to kill time, and we just like went in this random door, and it was this like magic shop that was just in this like apartment building.
It just like appeared out of nowhere.
No, there were all these old guys in there doing all these crazy like sleight of hand tricks. And, these hand puzzles and stuff, and like they were spinning stuff in their hands and like making stuff disappear. And I was like, are these like legit wizards? Is this like a secret enclave of like fucking wizards over here? Like it was just.
And they asked you to buy their course.
I did buy the course. I bought the course, obviously. But there was no name
That's
on
where
the
you
door.
learned the nose trick.
There was no store. No, I googled that.
Nice.
No, I didn't learn shit from them.
There was no name on the door?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They
It was just this weird hole in the wall magic shop that like we just stumbled upon. We were just going in like random doors and shit.
It presented itself to you.
Honestly, I think it's like the room of requirement, bro. It just fucking materialized.
You needed it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah. I knew I was a magic boy.
Damn.
You should have bought like some trick scarves or something.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Is you had the midichlorian of being a mentalist.
That's what it was. My magic count.
Yeah. Like and so
I had the shine.
So you saw the store and
my dad was like, "That's just a
coulda
wall,"
pursued
and I
it.
walked through it like platform 9 3/4.
Yeah,
He's like, "What the fuck? Holy shit! What in the hell?"
Like I think my son just got abducted.
I think my son just went to the upside down. What the fuck was that?
But yeah, because you had it in you already. You found the secret magic shop.
I think you're right.
And there's a different universe where you pursued that.
Because I was cool enough as a kid.
Now you're a weird ass guy.
I was
at
cool.
parties.
I was cool enough as a kid to be into sleight of hand. I was that kind of cool. I was that kind of
Very
badass
cool.
that I was into sleight of
Yeah.
hand.
That
So
is sick.
I was doing that kind of
Very
badass
cool.
behavior, and they probably could sense how cool I was and how many chicks I was getting
Yes.
with my sleight of hand, and they let me in.
Was this at the all boys school?
No, this was before. So I was actually getting bitches. I was like,
dude.
"Can I guess your card? Check this out."
Nice.
I was having chicks stay after class, and they were having me do magic tricks. I'll be
Whoa.
honest.
Damn, dude.
Doesn't work in high school, especially at an all-boys school.
Yeah, no, you'll get beat up for that immediately. It's
No,
just
because there were kids doing magic tricks in high school, and they were not.
the trick is just how to get the most wedgies immediately.
Observe. Wow, that kid's a wizard.
Damn, I didn't think they could still hang kids up on flagpoles like
dude,
that.
Bro, dude, are you a mentalist?
That was my biggest fear. Was
I
getting
call-
strung up on the flagpole.
I call the number, and they're like, "Dude, that kid's a mentalist." What the fuck? How do you guess that?
I'm gonna guess how many wedgies I'm gonna get this year.
Yeah, I go. It's always 5 more than last
76.
year. There's a trick to it.
6 digits.
I'm sensing 11. 6 digits. I go, "Oh, I'm getting the Fruit of the Loom transmission. Hold on, what is this?" That was one of my favorite Simpsons bits. Was whenever Bart gets on like Adderall and he just starts like he goes like insane. He's doing all these graphs and like doing all these fucking like calculations and shit.
Yeah.
And he just goes fully insane. And he's like, I'm being like broadcast like secrets about the election from a satellite run by MLB. And they're like, all right, son, like we really got to get you off this shit. And then I think at the end he runs away and they're like trying to chase him down and shit. And he's like doing all this. He's running into stores and he's getting all this weird like supplies and shit.
Yeah.
He runs out into this field and he's like assembling all this stuff. And his parents are like running towards him like as he's finishing it. And they're like, Bart, don't do it. And he like steps on this thing and it like shoots a rocket up. And they're like, what did you do? What was that? And this satellite crashes.
Oh,
and it's
shit.
the MLB baseball satellite. And it is broadcasting like shit about the elections that people's
Wow.
feelings are picking up.
Yep.
But it was just like, what if all the shit that schizophrenic people are saying is like actually true?
Yeah,
like it's like they're telling the truth, and everyone's like, "You're fucking insane." Like
How do you feel about the Simpsons predicting the future shit?
Real
Dude, The Simpsons
I
gets
feel
a
like
lot
you've
of
looked
stuff
into
right.
this.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was just like it was like a lot of like smart people working on the show, and so I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they can just kind of see the way things.
But the God particle thing, you know about that one?
The Higgs boson. Well, because didn't one of them work on that? I thought one of the
Oh, I didn't
writers
know
ended up
that.
being on the team
Oh,
that like
okay.
worked on it or something.
But it's exactly right.
well,
right?
I think
I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
The thing
that is
Homer,
weird.
like there's
that
this
is weird. There's like
there's like an equation to find the particle of light that's in everything.
the Higgs
Some shit
boson,
like
the
that.
Higgs boson thing. Yeah,
I don't understand it. I didn't even know there was light in it.
it's like the thing that gives stuff mass. It's like the reason that things have mass. Or
And
like
it's
the
this
reason.
long ass equation. And there's an episode where Homer's just on this chalkboard, just writing numbers and shit, and it's the exact equation. Or some shit like that. It might be like a little something, but it was like way ahead of what scientists knew at the time.
It's crazy. I mean, they called Trump. They called President.
Homer,
They called
but that one I feel like is easy.
But like when they called it, how long ago did they call
No,
it? Like,
But it's just a funny thing. Like, wouldn't that be funny if like a billionaire became president?
And he's the guy from the TV show,
Yeah,
and he's always an asshole. No one likes him.
Yeah.
He's a cartoon rich guy.
Yeah. So I feel like that one is like understandable.
It's still nuts.
No,
Like,
no.
it's
But
still
that
like
combined with all the
they have
other
several,
shit,
other things,
yeah.
Yeah, there was like a pandemic. They called it like around this year or something like
Yeah,
that. Like shit like that. Yeah, it's weird. Because they all went to Harvard and shit. Like Conan O'Brien worked on it. I remember, and he's like
Conan's
a
great.
Harvard guy. Yeah,
He wrote some of the best. He
One of
wrote
the
he wrote
best
the monorail
scientists.
episode.
Yes, he said Mr. Burns was his like favorite character to write for because you can just write in anything for him because he's so rich. You can do anything.
That's
Like,
badass.
he can just do wacky shit.
Yeah.
Just so funny. And he's
I was a
old.
big Sideshow Bob guy.
Loves
Yeah,
Sideshow
he's-
Bob. How he's just really into like theater and like musicals and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like really
Yeah.
classy.
High
Like,
art.
yeah, but then he's a
Oh, yeah.
clown.
And really into Bart.
Yes.
He loves that guy.
Loves him. Dude.
Loves him.
Yeah. So
That's a good running gag.
Yeah.
But it sucks because it's like the whole thing's a callback to like season 1 or 2, and like no one remembers that shit at all. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, the
like
Who
did
Framed
something
Krusty
to piss him
episode.
off or something.
He tried to frame Krusty.
He got
for
him fired?
robbing the Quickie Mart.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Bart's like, "Wait a minute, like Krusty's feet aren't that big." Like,
Yeah,
they
that's what
watched
it
the
was.
tape.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
there was like, "Who has big feet?" And then Sideshow Bob has
Nice.
fucking like size.
And so he's just out
20
for
feet.
revenge ever
Mhm.
since.
Yeah.
And they replace him with Sideshow Mel.
Never
Yeah,
got
Who
it.
blows.
He hates Sideshow Mel.
Yeah, he is pretty. Sideshow Mel is pretty funny though. He's like he's always speaking like an opera
Mhm.
tones. That's pretty dope. It's a cool trait. It's a cool thing to do.
You should start doing that.
I think I might.
I think that in tandem with your mentalism might be the ultimate key.
Oh
dude.
my
I
God,
think that's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
That's the piece of the puzzle I don't have. It's being a mentalist.
Yeah, you could be like an anime spirit detective or whatever.
Fuck, that'd be so
dude.
fucking cool.
I can see you
dude.
doing that, like fucking running around with a headband on.
Yeah, and like a
with a headband.
Yeah, and like-
Bullshit.
Imagine you go to hire a private investigator and he's wearing a headband.
I was thinking of a. Like
I'm
a,
your guy.
Like I was thinking of a "Where in the World is like Carmen Sandiego" hat.
That's what
Like
I
a
was thinking.
Big, like a
But headband's
fedora.
I was
hilarious.
thinking like a Naruto headband.
Yeah.
No, that would be sick.
And he's just sitting there doing hand signals.
Yeah,
and
a bus passes by and I appear.
yeah.
Somebody needs something solved.
And then, but people are skeptical. They don't want to hire you because they're like, "This is a weird ass dude in a Naruto headband." But then you just start telling them shit about their life. They're like, "Your great grandmother's name
Like
was
your
this."
your dog's name is Sparky.
Yeah.
I said it for everybody.
Yeah.
They're like, no, whose
Luce-
dog is that?
Lucille was born in Illinois. That's your great grandmother.
Then I throw a smoke bomb down. And I'm gone.
Yeah.
That'd be so. I did legit look up how to make like impact smoke bombs. As
Yeah,
a
you
kid.
did.
Yeah, that was like my like most.
Yeah,
so sick.
so cool, dude. Remember that guy that shot up the train or whatever in New York and he threw smoke bombs?
Yes, I do.
Well,
He ruined it for
I
everyone.
really wanted smoke bombs to work out for him. I didn't want anyone to get hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want a guy to commit a crazy crime and get away with smoke
That's
bombs.
super
Yeah.
villain shit. That's Batman stuff. That's
But
crazy.
They got his ass, obviously.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not gonna work out. It's dumb as hell.
He doesn't have the ninja training.
He's underground in
That's
a
what
tube.
it was.
Yeah, you're not an official ninja.
He didn't know ninjutsu.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least you have to be trained by the League of Shadows or something. You know,
So-
you can't,
Yeah,
you
dude.
can't just be.
He was just some fucking guy.
Well, hey, but shouts out to the what was the vigilantes that were a thing in the 70s that were all red and they wore suspenders and they just beat the fuck out of people on trains.
What?
Sounds like the mob.
It's
The Foot Clan?
No, it's the something Guardians.
Clan?
There's a rap in It's Always Sunny. In that episode where they like become vigilantes and It's Always Sunny, they like dress up like them. The you know the episode where him and Mac and D like get those little bats and they start
No.
wearing those uniforms. Because the homeless guys like
All
jerking
red
off.
uniforms?
They wear like red shirts and they have suspenders on and they have baseball bats and they would like patrol the subways and like beat the fuck out of people or like mugging people because
pretty
New
cool.
York was so dangerous
yeah.
back in the 70s that like
Yeah.
people were like fuck this, like we're just gonna start wailing on people.
Yeah.
They were called like the something Guardians or something, but yeah, it was like because I looked up like what were like actual vigilantes, like were there
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that were literally like taking the law into their own hands,
to
like
be, yeah.
superhero shit, and like that's like the main example.
Definitely like in the Old West times. I
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
True, a posse,
Oh,
a
yeah.
posse together, which is just like a bunch of guys with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You deputize.
That could be
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
We could do that.
You could just get a little metal star.
We all gotta get
Start
guns
shooting
and
people.
stars. Yeah.
Who are we after?
Someone called the something kid for sure. I don't know who it is, but it's the something kid.
Hell yeah.
Or
the
he's some kind of-
smokestack kid.
Yes, yeah. Or someone the desperado.
Yeah. Ooh. Damn.
I wish I was a desperado.
That one's a little exotic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A little south of the
Desperado
border.
It is, yeah, down south.
I was reading about cowboys, and they're apparently all Mexicans.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Americans didn't have like any cowboys at all, and the ones
Yeah.
that did were just like Texas, like border town. Like
Yeah, they were just
Cowboys.
arresting people.
yeah, which is funny because like in Russia they have like they have the what do they call it? Fuck, they have like the equivalent of cowboys that are like
Oh, I
these.
never even thought about that. dude.
And but everybody tries to claim them, like how we
Yeah,
do with the
yeah,
cowboys. We're
yeah.
like the Mexicans are like, nah, they're like our thing, and like
Probably everyone had them.
yeah, and like Ukraine's like that, where they're like
Yeah.
they're our thing, and Russia's like, no, they we fucking
Well,
had those guys. And, like,
It is different though because those countries were like established
Cossack. That's what they're
for a
called, so-
long time with like Western transportation and cities and stuff. But over in America,
It
Wait,
was
say
just
that
the
again?
plains.
those countries were like established, like with Western, like
Right.
thousands of years
Right.
of fucking people building cobblestone roads and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
over here, it was just fucking dirt and sand and grass and trees.
True, and that was
So-
like the 1800s, and the Cossacks were like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're super fucking
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
Like,
we're way older. Oh, but that's what you Cossacks?
Yeah, the
Those-
Cossacks.
Those are Russian cowboys?
uh-huh.
Oh.
You ever heard of them?
I know them from like Total War,
Yeah.
but
exactly.
I always just thought it was a good mounted ranged
cavalry unit. Yeah,
yeah.
which they are. They're amazing. At
I
that.
didn't know they were fucking Rough Riders.
Yeah, literally. They still do like Cossack shows in like Ukraine and stuff.
Yeah,
and these
yeah.
guys wear crazy outfits, and it's those dudes you see like standing on horses, and like they'll be hanging off them with their legs and stuff, and doing crazy
Yeah,
shit.
they're excellent marksmen on a horse, dude.
Mhm.
That's how I know them. They're decent range unit, usually pretty fast, lightly armored.
People of the steppe. Anyone
Yeah.
from the
Oh,
Eurasian
yeah.
steppe, you fucking
Yeah.
ranged horse fucking people over there. A
Yeah,
bunch of
they know what
goddamn
they're doing.
centaurs
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Spot
yeah.
to be.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, literally, that was the spot to be. Like for most of time until guns. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Mongolians were pretty much chilling
Well,
until
I don't know about the spot to be, because the reason they're so good at horses and shit is
the
because
steppe sucks.
it's because the steppe fucking sucks, and they can't grow vegetables
That's
and
true. You have to-
all that.
That's why you have to be a nomad.
Yeah.
You can't grow.
So they
shit.
got to travel around and just eradicate the rabbit population.
That is true.
in every
yeah,
area.
yeah. It was so hard. They were training birds to like hunt for
Yeah.
them because it was such a pain in the ass to
And,
catch
like,
rabbits and shit.
Yeah, and their main meat really was the horses that died along the way.
Damn,
Yeah,
that sucks
and
ass.
They would
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
slivers off of horses.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that
Like
would-
and
vampiric
keep
shit.
riding
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember one of my favorite boxers, this guy named Gennady Golovkin. He's from Kazakhstan.
That's a
Crazy
sick
name,
ass
yeah.
name.
Yeah, yeah, that dude's badass. But I remember when he was fighting one time, I was like, I'm gonna look up a Kazakhstan dish and make that tonight to eat. And then I looked it up, and it was like the national dish of Kazakhstan. I'm pretty sure is
Fermented horse.
and it's you get an onion
Okay.
and you put it in some water, and you boil it with horse meat.
And that's it.
And then you put it on. They make basically like a pasta, but really just making a dough. It's just flour and water.
What is it called?
I don't know.
Something
It has-
insane?
Yeah, some crazy Kazakhstan name, but like it's really just
Where you,
stewed
like-
horse meat with an onion to
Fucking
give it
single
flavor,
onion.
and then some water and flour, and you just put this stewed horse meat with a little bit of that nice broth.
It sounds
on
like a
top.
nice broth.
And so I made it, but with steak because I couldn't find horse meat.
Of course, yeah, of course.
yeah.
You had to source your own.
It sucks.
I'm
It's
sure.
not a good
Sounds
dish.
ass.
So many countries' national dishes is like Great Depression food.
Yeah, yeah.
Like shit that you had to like survive on.
Yeah, this is the 2,000-year-old Great Depression food.
Yeah, like
So it's
bangers
even
and mash
worse,
and
dude.
shit like
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
so fucked. It's like terrible food. I mean, it's like soul food was like shit that like
Yeah.
was for like
But
slaves
that
would eat
shit's
it, 'cause
pretty good, though.
It's so good, but it's so bad for you because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like pig intestines and shit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chitlins and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And it's really
it's delicious though.
that kind of stuff is stuff where it's like it can be good. It just takes a long time to make. So you got to like braise this pork belly for fucking 10 hours
Right.
before you can really eat it.
Even eat it,
It's
yeah.
not going to be very good.
'Cause it's
But
so
then like
shit.
yeah, you get it like a steak and you just take it off the cow and cook it and it's delicious immediately.
Right, because it's like a prime. Like you're
Yeah.
supposed to be eating. That part of
Yeah,
the cow.
Prime
that's what
cut.
you're supposed to
That's what
eat.
it. That's the what part of the cow that's designed to be eaten.
yeah. So really all that food is just they figured out how to make it work, but you know, they weren't. You're not supposed to be eating that shit.
No. Yeah, there's this one. It's like the official drink of like Mongolia, and it has a crazy name too. But it's essentially horse blood mixed with fermented horse's milk, mixed together, and
Sounds great.
That is the drink of champions. And then we
Dude,
get fucked up
I
on
bet that shit that'll put some balls on your chest. dude.
Balls on your
That
chest.
shit'll put your.
You'll be growing balls on
That'll
your
make
chest.
a man out of you, dude.
Yeah, give you some horse balls.
Put some balls right on your chest.
Give you some fucking lumps, some tumors.
Get some double D's on your chest,
Yeah,
ball
dude.
style.
That shit will make you a man.
That's fucking foul, dude.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get you a bottle sometime.
Yeah.
It had a cool name.
I wonder
too.
if you can just order it.
I think I looked it up, and you can. They
Nice, dude.
export.
Okay, I'll look into this.
I kind of want to, and it's
Okay.
cool now because like they don't really do horses, but they're all just riding dirt bikes now, like in Mongolia.
Oh,
Like,
for
they're all
real?
just
That's
whipping dirt
sweet.
bikes to
Oh.
this day. It's sick.
Horses are still super important to that area and shit.
yeah, as a symbol.
And they still eat horse.
Yeah,
They still eat
for
horse
sure.
meat.
For sure, and it's crazy. Like Mongolian horses are like built different. Like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like squat. And
They're
like,
stout.
Yeah, they're little
right?
short stack. It's a little short stack.
Kind of like our
the-
ponies.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit,
little
right?
Shetland pony. Yeah, like they're very hardy and like.
But I think those are the original horses.
I think you're
Like
right.
I think that's where horses came from,
I think you're right.
and they only exist in the rest of the world because they traveled from there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Pretty sure.
That would make sense because like animal, like it's just a big plane. So
Yeah,
only
yeah.
animals that can like run a long time, like
Yeah.
have like infinite stamina, could, like,
Exactly.
survive on a plane.
Because they gotta like eat one carrot here and then travel 3 miles and get
Yeah.
another carrot.
right. Yeah, it's like a grass desert.
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
have to be able to graze. Like grazing is pretty sick.
Yeah,
that's
for
a pretty sick ability.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
eating grass.
Yeah.
You just have to eat like your whole day has to be eating grass basically. But food all the time.
Yeah, free food.
What do you say?
Just out and about,
All right.
grazing.
But you gotta have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
8 stomachs.
I'll
You gotta eat
graze.
rocks. So it's trade offs. You know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Gotta eat rocks. I thought whenever like, do you remember reading about dinosaurs and they would tell them they'd say they had rocks in their stomach and shit?
No.
That was like a thing, and I just thought they were like, I thought it meant like, oh, they would like,
They're getting kidney stones?
yeah, I thought they'd have like the equivalent, like their body would produce these rocks to like
Right.
grind up the grass, but like no, they would literally just eat stones to like have in their stomach to grind up shit.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, because like we cook stuff to
grind
digest it
up
for
shit.
us. Like our digestion
Oh.
is like way easier because we can cook things. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're cooking it. We're like digesting it outside of our body.
And they're just like putting it in their stomach with all these rocks and just fucking
Yeah, and like, as they walk and shit, yeah, it just grinds it up. They got like a fucking blender in there. It's crazy. Yeah, fucking.
They like make a mortar and pestle in their stomach.
yeah, no, yeah, literally, yeah.
Huh.
And I think the only reason like cows and shit don't have to do that is because they have so many stomachs. Like instead
They
of
got
having
like
rocks,
other acids and stuff.
Yeah,
right? They got
it
like
goes
several
through, like, a
different layers of
conveyor
acid.
belt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh. That's pretty badass, dude.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
It would suck to get eaten by a dinosaur and then be in there just ow, ow.
Yeah.
I thought about that as a kid.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
You just get
Dude.
you get eaten by a dinosaur, then you get stoned to death.
Yeah, a bunch
Uh,
of boulders. You're just in like a fucking landslide. Yeah, that would suck.
Damn.
That'd be ass.
Let's like do Jurassic Park. You know,
What does that mean?
like
like-
let's start it.
Like we should like
Yeah, like I think we should be the ones. I feel
Oh,
like with,
to make the actual park.
yeah, I think
Okay.
we should like
Okay.
we should go Hammond on this, and we should fucking you know, we should figure. I feel like with AI, I feel like you could probably do it now. You know, like I bet it was because we had some holes in the genome or something, and the AI can just fucking fill in the gaps for us. And
Oh, okay.
you know,
we could just like rent dinosaur costumes too and like
yeah.
we could do that. We could do that.
Yeah.
No, we could definitely do
set up
that.
a little
That
like
sounds better.
hayride.
Yeah,
just
we-
jump out at 'em.
Oh, dude, sick.
Damn.
I feel like you'd love
Jurassic
a hayride,
Park
dude.
hayride?
Damn.
Oh my
I
god.
love a hayride, man.
That'd be incredible. Yeah, hayrides are sick.
No, that would be.
Did you ever go on like a haunted hayride?
Oh yeah.
Around Halloween.
Plenty of them.
That was like some of the most fun shit.
I always loved it, dude.
The smell of a pumpkin patch
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
hay.
Corn
Love that.
maze, and there's like one scary guy out there, and you're like, oh fuck.
Oh, dude. I remember going
What?
in this haunted
You ever do that?
house.
No.
This haunted house in Missouri or Oklahoma or some shit when I was a kid. It was actually like a mine. It was like a cave. And you'd go in this
You like
cave.
went down, you descended.
Yeah, and then you'd come out like the other side. It was like this badass little cave thing.
It was here.
It was somewhere. No, it was like
Oh.
Missouri, Oklahoma, somewhere around here though, within like 2 hours. And we went there one time, me and my buddy and his parents, and it was my first haunted house experience. So I didn't know what was going, and it was scaring the shit out of me so bad that me and my buddy just had to start making jokes about the shit.
That's the
like,
move.
to cope with
That's
it.
the move.
So like a guy would come up and get in our face, and we'd be like, "Your breath smells bad. you need a mint." And like, but we were doing that because we were so scared.
You were fronting
we
big time.
didn't know what to do. We just had to make jokes about it. And then we get to the end, and at the end they're like, "Oh, if you want to get back to your car, you got to go through this hedge maze or corn maze or something." And there's a guy with a chainsaw just fucking chasing you around the whole corn. Dude, it was
Terrifying.
so scary.
No, terrifying.
Chainsaws automatically, it's one of the scariest noises. Possibly
Yeah.
the scariest noise.
and it's a real motor. Like they took the chain off. I'm
yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
it's
And the
still-
guy's in your face.
That's
And he's
terrifying.
acting like he can't catch you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
He's still writing a little slower.
And
when
he's
he
like,
says-
I'm gonna get you.
he turns into Jason at the end. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so scary, man.
I used to at the camp I used to work at. We would do this thing on the Wednesdays where it was called 007.
On the Wednesdays.
On the Wednesdays.
007
On the Wednesdays of every
Wednesdays,
week.
dude.
It was
I like how that sounds.
It was a big night because that was
Shaken,
the night.
not stirred.
Dude, I wish it was that kind of like suave ass. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's wearing tuxes and shit. That'd be
Yeah,
so
that'd be
sick.
cool,
we,
dude.
We give the kids martini glasses.
Yeah.
And they're like swirling them. No, it's like it's the one like time during the whole week where we send them out like without counselors and shit to
damn.
like go do shit. And it's only you have to be 12 and up. Like kids under that age
Yeah,
can't even
yeah.
do it. But all the counselors go and wear all this crazy makeup. Like we go get ready for like an hour and we put on all these crazy like costumes and shit.
Yeah.
And then we just like populate the grounds of the camp. And it's at night.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they have to go to these different stations and do like a puzzle or something or solve some challenge and they get a clue and they got to decipher it to get to the next one.
Uh-huh.
And there's 3 challenges and at the end they have to find this pipe bomb and defuse it. It's got like a timer on it with like wires and you got to snip it.
What?
And you have to like, decipher all the clues come together at the end and you have to like figure it out.
Holy
And-
shit. You're stressing these kids
no,
out.
No, we tell them it's gonna blow up the camp. We're like, you have to,
Oh my
we're like, you have to
God.
save Winnemucca. Like, you guys have to save the camp. It's gonna explode if you guys don't find
That
this bomb.
sounds like a kid's movie.
And this guy's driving around in a Jeep. He's got a megaphone. And he's called the General, and he's just screaming shit like, "I'm coming to get you!"
Holy
and like,
shit.
yeah, and laughing and shit. And it was the most fun thing every fucking week because you just got to like scare the shit out of these
Dude,
kids.
that
Like,
sounds badass.
It was.
Did you have any kids ever just break down completely
Yes.
and just go
And
fetal?
you have to just break character immediately and be like, "Oh my god."
Hey, I'm not actually a monster. I'm Beckett.
Because it used to be cool when I did it because like you were
Better
allowed
get
to
up or
bribe.
You're gonna die,
You're-
kid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta kill you. Rules are rules. You're too slow. I would slit the throat. Guys, you signed a waiver. But we would do some hardcore shit that was just kind of like
That doesn't sound very hardcore.
no, it was just kind of dark for like the age of the children that these
Yeah.
were. We're like they had to walk across this like strip of land to get to where. No, it was insane when they get to the place where we eat food. It's like dark in there, and they walk in with their teams, and there's a guy in like a trench coat in there, and he throws this all these envelopes on this table, these Manila envelopes,
Yeah.
and they spread out on the table, and then strobe lights come on, and they start playing "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor,"
Yeah.
and all the kids are like running all over the place trying to find their packet,
Holy
like for their
shit.
team, and like that song like blaring in your
scary.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
ear is so jarring.
Yeah.
But like while they were walking over to like that building, they can see across the lake to like this other part of the camp, and we had people on like it's pretty far. It's probably like I don't know, like a mile or something across the lake, so you can just kind of barely see them.
Yeah.
And we had these people in like long white gowns and like eye makeup on and shit. And we had somebody at the end of the dock, and we just had him like chilling with red Gatorade in his mouth.
Oh my god.
And he was just sitting on the dock, like waving. And then we had somebody like come up behind him and either like stab him or like cut his throat and then kick him
Holy
into. And he
shit.
like spit up the Gatorade.
Oh my
and then he
God.
like fell into the water. And we had him like hold his breath. He was a swimmer, so we could hold his breath for like a
Dude.
minute. And we had him just float on the
oh
water.
my god.
And they all loved it. Everybody loved. And the main people, we thought they were gonna be mad at us, and they were like,
Yeah.
"We loved that. That was so good. We love when people do shit like that." I'm
Like
"Fuck
showing them a pile of bones, and you're like, "These are the last kids."
The last kid had deer antlers too.
did
It was
the-
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
We did the Rick and Morty thing
We
where
turned him into a deer first, and
Oh, yeah,
kill
like
his
True
ass.
Detective.
bones floated to the top, like he got eaten by piranhas.
Yeah.
We had bones released. We had an acid vat.
Dude, that
That'd be
sounds
sick.
pretty wild.
It was cool. It was very fun.
Especially if they don't know that that's what they're getting into. They're like, "We're just going to summer camp.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Oh, there's people."
I'm saving the world."
Yeah, you're actually gonna save everybody.
Yeah,
You didn't know what kind of stakes you were dealing with.
That's fucking
Because sometimes
awesome.
they lose. Like sometimes nobody
Oh,
wins,
no.
and then they're like the general one.
Just like
sorry.
good night, everyone. Go to your cabins.
Yeah, and they hit a button, and they go, poof, the whole fucking camp explodes. Everybody's cabin detonates.
Damn.
Yeah, it was real shit.
That's fun though. That shit would never fly to religious camp.
No, that was that was like our allure. We would get like gay kids and like or gay parents with kids and shit like that. We
Nice.
couldn't send it to like a Christian camp. And, stuff.
Yeah.
That is fun.
And we could do way crazier shit,
Yeah.
which was fun. But yeah,
Make them think they saw a murder.
Yeah, literally. Like
Yeah,
make them
yeah.
think they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Have people fear for their life. We made them go to this scary cave that's like pitch black, like you can't see anything. And I remember one year I was like standing in there and I would hear kids coming, and then I would just stand in there and I would like bang my head against the wall, like as they walked, like they would have to go by me.
Yeah.
Which is so terrifying because like you don't know if they're gonna like jump
sure.
at you or whatever. And that was a lot of fun. It's just fun being in a haunted house.
Banging your head against the wall.
It does seem fun. I went to one last October. No, the year before. Went to a haunted house.
Like we're in it or just
No, just
partook.
Partook. Bought a ticket. But I was watching those guys and I was like, this shit seemed kind of fun. If you're like an actor or something and you're like, I need some work, dude.
For sure.
Why don't I go look like Rob Zombie?
Yeah, it scared the shit out of
Yeah.
some children.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty badass. But then I was also like, imagine you do this for like 8 hours, 10 hours on Halloween, dude.
Your throat and
By
your
the end of it,
your voice would be gone.
One of the
You're
guys,
screaming.
he would come up and just be like, "You thought I was gonna let you leave?" And I'm like, dude, how many times has this guy said that today?
I remember we went to a haunted house as a family one time, and my dad took a picture, or he was like filming the entrance, and they like freaked out. Like they do not fuck with you like filming the inside of it, because like they don't want you posting it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
They don't want you to build your own haunted house. Take
Yeah,
pictures.
that's true.
Yeah.
He's taking notes. Yeah, but
They're
one of the
gonna
guys.
take our tunnel of blood.
yeah, it was so generic ass like haunted house anyway.
yeah.
But one of the guys like broke character like immediately and was like, "Hey, like you gotta delete that right now." Like, he's like, "I'm gonna take your phone." He's like, "You're not taking my phone." Like look, I'll like watch me delete it. And he like went to his phone and he like deleted
That's
it. And the guy was like,
crazy.
"Okay." And then at the end, my like dad came up to me and he was like, "It's in the deleted folder."
Nice.
Fucking idiot. Like a fucking
Hell
moron.
yeah.
It's just so stupid. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, what the hell?
You're starting blowing your trade secrets about
Yeah.
jump scares.
Strobe lights and jump scares.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck."
The
why couldn't
haunted
we
house I used to go to like in high school, they had this one thing. I think it was called like the fucking the womb or something. It was like literally it was like a giant. They had like inflatable walls,
Whoa.
and it felt like you were getting like crushed.
Dude,
like
I don't like
they'd
that.
fill with air.
Nah, I don't like
And
that.
and you'd be like,
dude.
oh, and they'd be like, I think there's like it was like
Oh.
red lights and
Holy
stuff.
shit.
But you have to like go with this. Oh, it's scary. And
I
they
love
call
a
it,
good
like,
womb, but I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Oh yeah, dude, this is a scary womb.
You
yeah,
ever
yeah.
seen a Nope when they show inside the alien?
Oh,
and people
yeah,
are just
yeah.
being squeezed through this fucking.
It was kind of
tube?
like
yeah,
it
that
was
was
kind of like
horrifying.
that same feeling of like being like
Oof.
if you're like claustrophobic, you'd be like,
Dude.
oh my god.
Yeah, was it small?
I mean, it was like it was a hallway, and then the sides was just like some kind of almost like a bouncy house type shit,
Yeah.
where it was just had air compressors going that were just constantly opening and closing. But it got like, and then you like it open up some and you squirm out
hell
real
yeah.
quick.
Me and Lindy watched this documentary the other day on Hulu about this this guy who would do these haunted houses where you would have to like sign this thing.
Oh yeah,
And-
I've seen a lot about that.
And yeah, it was like they could do anything. Like, they could like fuck you up. Like,
Yeah,
They
yeah.
could like beat the shit out of you and like like waterboard you.
From
and,
what
like,
Fuck that.
From what I gathered watching this shit was this guy is into some weird like kink shit.
Yeah,
Where
that's
he's
gotta
just
be it.
like humiliating these people, and then basically he doesn't even actually have a haunted house. There's no haunted
it's
house.
like his house.
But he brings you to his house, and then he's in his front yard, and he's like, "You've got to survive this test to see if you're gonna make it to the haunted house." And then no one ever does.
Yeah, no, that is it.
Because
Or
he
one
will,
woman
like-
I remember, there was one woman who like he took a shining to or something,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
was also fucked up, and so
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was just going along with it, and like she kept like upping the
Well,
ante,
In the beginning, there was a haunted house.
Yes.
When it started.
and then he lost it.
But he's like never made any money from this thing, and so he lost all his haunted house, everything. But he's still trying to do it, and he pretends like he has a haunted house.
Right, and the enticement is like if you can make it through, you'll get a bunch of money. He'll give you some like cash
Yeah,
reward.
yeah.
But like one, he doesn't tell you how long it is, so it can just go as long as he wants until
Yeah.
you quit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you never
Which
lose.
is usually what happens.
right. Like, it's not like, oh, you have to pass these 3 things. It's like
Yeah.
survive the thing, even though like of indeterminate time. Like,
Yeah, that sucks.
And he's like pouring paint on your face and like cracking eggs in your mouth and like
and like burying you up to your neck.
Yeah,
and, like, pouring
yeah.
like fish on you and shit. And like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
That guy needs to put that guy
Making
in
you-
jail or something.
Everyone wears like a weird costume. Like you put on like it's like a animal costume, like a shitty Halloween costume.
Oh,
with, like,
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
dragon
yeah.
or like an animal
Uh
or
huh.
some shit. Everyone has to wear that, and then by the end of it, a lot of the time they're like naked or whatever, and they're just it's crazy, dude.
You gotta watch
It's
it.
like-
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just watched a YouTube video of
Yeah,
a
so
guy.
A deep dive.
You guys did a pretty good summary right there.
I watched this
don't even need
YouTube
that.
video of these 2 guys trying to beat it. And it was these same 2 guys that they found out there's this bakery, and I actually learned about this bakery from my brother. So this is some crazy shit. My brother goes to a lot of festivals and does a lot of psychedelics, right?
Yeah.
So my brother, he's at this festival, and he took a picture of this bus, and he was like, "Hey, just to warn all my friends, no one go on this bus. These guys will give you free acid and shit, and then they like talk you. You're on acid. You're tripping. You're in this bus with these people, and then they'll talk you into like joining their cult. So they're like, we should just live on a farm together. You know, it's all communal."
If you're on acid, you're like, that sounds
and
amazing.
no one has anything. Everyone gets free food. We all share everything.
Love it.
Free housing, free food, everything. You just work on a farm, and whatever you farm for that day, you do, right? And so these people, they're part of a cult, and they like the cult leader. If you want to join, you give him all your current possessions. He gets all the current possessions. You work for free on this farm. I mean, you get to live there and you get to eat, but it's for free.
That sucks.
So anyway, this farm is growing all this shit and doing all this shit that they open a restaurant, like a little cafe. That's what it was, not a bakery. They open this cafe. In the cafe, everyone that works there is part of the cult. So no one that works there is getting paid. They're working for free. And then all the food and all the shit that they're using to make the food is grown at this farm. It's all free. And these people are running this cafe. But it's all
Is the
volunteer work or whatever.
Cafe free?
No, you pay.
And where's that money
So
go?
that goes to the leader. The leader is just
Yeah.
kicking off a free cafe.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. So
That's actually so insane.
so anyway, and my brother posted like years ago about this bus, and then he was like, I forget the name of the cult, like the Left Hand Cult. It's like has some ominous like fucking Ninja Turtles type of name,
the
right?
Dark Brotherhood.
yeah. And so I looked into it, and then I was like, oh, there's these cafes, like 2 of them that exist or something. And then years later, I saw a thing. These guys were like going into that haunted house, right? This was like last year I started watching this. They were going into that haunted house, and then I was like, these guys are pretty sick. They did another video about this cafe thing, and what they did was they actually pretended to be members of the cult. They end up being employees of the cafe, and then the guy read like all the documents and shit that he signed to become an employee, and basically they don't have to pay anyone because everyone that works there is a partial owner. And so once he became a partial owner, all he had to do was get them to hire enough of his friends, because the way they hire and fire
pyramid
people
scheme.
is off of votes. So he was like, we'll just keep
So they take over the
dude,
thing?
so it took him like 3-4 months to hire enough of his friends.
That's crazy.
He hires enough of his friends to work there. They fire everyone that works there, and then they close the cafe. The cops come. Because the guys that were the cult guys were like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
They're trying to close our cafe.
Yeah.
And the cops come, and they're like, hey, man, you guys can't be doing this or whatever. And the guy's like, no, it's all legal. Like,
Yeah, we voted.
Here's all my proof and all that. But
We
the
traded carrots for this.
the problem is, this is some crazy, it's like some dumbass movie shit where you're like, that would never happen in real life, but it's real life. And the cops were like, well, they give us free food all the time. So they're like siding with this cafe place because cops eat free.
What
Wow.
the fuck? They've got the
And
cops on their
so
payroll.
the YouTube guys are like, dude, no, we have all the evidence. Look, here's the documents. And the cops are like, I don't care about any of that. I don't want to see any of that. You guys have to get off the premises.
It's like the mafia.
Yeah, just because they're getting free turkey sandwiches.
That's
dude.
it, yeah. Like not even actual money. Imagine what they would do for like
I
50
know.
bucks.
And if you saw that in a movie, you'd be like, that's bullshit.
No,
The
never
cops
happen.
would never side with them for fucking
sandwiches.
for Caesar salads. But dude,
Cops aren't eating Caesar salads, first of all.
it's fucking happening. It was real life.
That's
but
so
eventually they did
insane.
get it shut down, but it took so much. They had to like actually go to court and shit to like, they had to do a lot.
That's awful. Dude.
But
That's
cool
crazy.
little series though.
No, I
These-
want to watch that.
just
now.
these
Smart
two-
to like get all the investors. You have your whole board. You basically like,
I
overthrow the
know.
board.
So wait,
Yeah.
were these people being tricked, or was it just a communal business?
It was like it's like any other cult basically, where they're like, you give up all your shit, you get to live here for free, do everything for free.
But I don't understand what was bad. Because if it's all voluntary, I don't really understand. Like,
Well,
it just
and
sounds like
they're
these people
tricking
went
you
into
to
these
do
like
it
people's
based on
clubs.
They're
acid.
and then
taking
took it
advantage
over.
of them.
But it's voluntary. Like,
But they're giving you acid first, so it's like they're like.
But
putting
are you
under,
like, are they stuck? Did they like sign away their life or something? Are you like trapped there after you like?
It's like a whole.
Because you're not on acid forever.
No, yeah, and it's like this whole social guilt thing where they can't leave the
Because you're like, wow, you're gonna
Colt.
leave us here. You're gonna leave all
Yeah.
that.
And you probably gave him like your car and shit.
Yeah, and
probably
you gave him
like,
everything,
all
like,
your fucking stuff.
A couple of the guys, like I looked into this cult a bit. A couple people, like this one guy, gave up his car and his house and all of his shit, like his retirement money, everything. He just gave up to this guy because he wanted. He was like, I don't know how. I remember being like 18 and 20 and shit, and being like, it would be tight to not have to work and just live with your friends on a farm. And you guys just raise and grow everything
Yeah.
and build everything that you need. You could do it all
It's a
yourself.
little kibbutz. Yeah.
Yeah, but so people think that way. That happens.
Yeah.
And then you're
And
on
then they're
acid, too.
there, and you're on acid.
And you're at a
and
festival
they
having a
convince
great
you.
time.
So
Yeah.
the issue is that like the all the money was being funneled to somebody and it wasn't being distributed like to everybody.
It's like Animal Farm shit, right?
Like if that was the case, would it have been an issue? Like if they were getting money from the cafe, everybody who was working on it, like they were distributing the money back to everyone.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even sound like that big of a deal.
well, it sounds
Like,
like,
just
that,
sounds like
sounds
a-
like that leader was taking advantage of all the
No,
people.
that's
what I
mean, like,
and
the
then he's
issue was-
fucking everyone's wives and shit too, where it's like that's
That
how
comes with
every
the cult.
cult
That comes
every
with the-
cult
yeah.
ends that way,
Comes with the cult.
where it's like no one gets to have sex but me,
But
and I
me.
get to have sex with whoever I want,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. I mean,
and
it's like a
I
little-
get all your previous possessions. Like
It's like a little kid making rules.
yeah,
It's like
for
I'm the
sure.
boss of the club. I also get all the food. I also
For
get all the
sure.
money, and I get to have sex with your wife.
But it's
Meeting
weird.
adjourned.
But that is, I think, it's why it's hard to shut down cults. Is because like you're
It is
saying,
bold.
it's not really like illegal.
Right. It's
The
when they start
people want
arming
to do
themselves
it.
and stuff.
Yeah. Or like when the dude's fucking the little girls and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Then
when
it's
they
bad.
start doing actual illegal stuff.
Yeah. But
Right.
it's like, the cult part isn't really illegal.
Right.
But still, if you're
They're being tricked.
if you're a dope dude who likes shutting down bad stuff, you're gonna be like, well, let's get this cult shut
For
down.
sure.
Like it's not really illegal. He's not getting them arrested.
Right.
He
And-
just shut down their cafe.
And the fact that they weren't getting paid is fucked. Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that was the case, I wouldn't have an issue with that at all.
They're not
Like,
getting paid for their
right,
farming. They're
that's
not getting
whack.
paid for
You
their.
could probably go in there and just with the fucking health inspector and get that shit shut down pretty quick. I guarantee they weren't up
It
to
looks
code.
pretty clean, dude.
Really?
but I don't know.
They're probably
They're
on
like
their shit.
they had like
The health inspector's on their fucking payroll.
Probably.
They had like what the fuck do you call it? Hidden cameras and shit, and they're like working. They're like mopping and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, because they had to pretend like they're just members of this thing
It's just workers.
for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
or
was
a
everybody
month or
in
something.
the town? Like, were they all on the take?
Dude, it was like in LA or some shit.
That's cool.
It was like
I was not
it
picturing
was like
that.
in
Me
a
either.
city.
I was picturing
then
like in the middle of
I
nowhere.
was-
The farm is like further. It's like in the middle of nowhere
Right.
or whatever. But like this cafe, it was like in a city. I can't remember which one. But yeah, I thought the same thing.
That sucks to have to borrow your car back from the cult leader to drive to your job you don't get paid at.
Well, I think they had a bus.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we just transport everyone together. That way, no one runs
Can run
away.
off.
No one can go. No one can leave. That's also the problem. If
You
you're
can't get
living on
away.
this farm, where can you go?
Right.
You don't have a phone to get an Uber.
Bro, I was about Ubers don't go out there
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. And so you go in and out on this bus with 40 other people, and they're not gonna want you to leave. 'cause-
Right. When you get there, you can't leave either.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're with everybody.
Yeah.
It's like some GTA shit. Like, there's, like, all those weird cults and
Yeah,
stuff. in
it's
GTA.
just like
Yeah,
that.
Like, that's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
That is nuts. That's real life.
I
too.
know. And the
It's like
cops were
Scientology.
like, we're getting free turkey clubs.
Yeah, that part's crazy.
Like, dude, the cop wouldn't even listen to this guy. He was like, we like these people. They're
I don't give a shit. what
they're
you're
good
saying.
people.
They're like, no, he literally like killed my daughter. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. These are
Make me
good
a
guys.
sub.
Yeah. These guys give us fucking banana pudding.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
you like in your head, you're like, you think of when there's corruption, it's like, oh, they must be getting a pretty nice kickback. It's
Yeah,
probably like
yeah.
a couple K a month.
And there's
or
like
something.
one guy that they're paying $100,000 to, or
right,
whatever.
right.
But no, it's like free turkey sandwiches
Yo.
for cops, just to give them a little favor, so that they feel attached to the place.
Right.
They have like a
Yeah, they're manipulating the
stones.
cops too.
yeah, 100%.
It's all just like
It's fucking
puppetry
wild,
and-
dude. It's crazy how little manipulation you really need to do to get people going.
It is shocking. It is actually scary.
Yeah.
Like how little. Yeah, for sure.
Just
It's
like-
really crazy.
Yeah, like getting the fucking hippie guys to go to the farm in the first place took very little. Like,
If you just
actual-
know what strings to pull
Yeah,
with people,
and
like
then the
it's,
cops
Mhm.
free sandwiches. Nuts.
That's why I'm worried about the TikTok shit. Is I feel like they're making lists of like strings to pull with people
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
just
yeah.
they know exactly what kind of propaganda to make that speaks exactly to your demographic of
Oh,
shit
yeah.
where you're like, fuck, I do agree with that. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? They know exactly the things that will get you.
Well,
to,
when
like,
they can have AI watch every TikTok and make like you know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Scrape
100%,
every
dude.
TikTok that's
Yeah,
ever been
yeah.
posted.
they're probably
and
already
get-
doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah, cool shit. Love China.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean we're blowing up on TikTok, so I don't give a fuck.
yeah. No, I mean, I think honestly that shit is pretty cool,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's gonna be used for nefarious purposes and all that, but it's like just use your own judgment.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
viewer
be
discretion.
Be a person
Mm-hmm.
with a mind, and you should be good, dude.
Well, the problem is whenever it starts like national security is like in everybody's best interest.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
my choice doesn't matter in the grand scheme. It's like the vaccine
Sure,
thing where like
yeah.
you have to rely on like a group, but like I mean I'm
Yeah.
not even like. Well, actually, I don't want to talk about it because it's YouTube. You know, we might get demonetized. But, I don't know. I just feel like,
There's a lot of fucking there's some shit going on TikTok and stuff. We're getting
it's just
exploited
spooky. It's
whether we
just
know it or
something's
not.
going on.
Everyone always brings up the Chinese TikTok, how it's like engineers and
Yeah, yeah.
scientists and mathematicians, and then ours is just like
Twerking.
some chick that's
Yeah, big
probably
asses.
not 18 with a big ass twerking.
Or just like total brain rot, nothing like
That's a
bullshit.
good-
Yeah,
Like it's just like somebody like Roblox machinimas and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
but then I think about it, and I'm like, when I was a kid, I was watching World of Warcraft machinimas all day long.
no, I've thought about that too.
And-
But in
and
our
if,
defense,
and if I could have just seen chicks twerking all the time,
true. And mixed in with it, like
Yeah,
you're watching
yeah,
a
yeah.
Let's Play, and now you're watching twerking, like
Dude,
right after.
I
I
That
bet I
does-
never got mixed up in that sleight of hand
Yeah.
bullshit, dude.
That's true. That's true. I might have never found those wizards in New York.
probably wouldn't have left my room. And then it's like, well, yeah, and then you just become a degenerate, and then it's a whole society of degenerates, and then they won.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Who?
the whole argument is.
Whoever made
Oh,
it
China.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
China-
I think
wins.
that's the whole argument. Is it's like these tools are made to
For
kind
sure.
of like erode
yeah,
society.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
No, I know, yeah.
And even if it's not like eroding people's values, if you can just waste a country's youth's time for like
Yeah, yeah.
hours a day, that's huge. Like instead of doing anything else, they're just doing nothing. Like
That's what
it's
I was
worse than a
doing.
video game. No, it's worse
Yeah.
than like just like even watching YouTube videos is more
Yeah,
productive
yeah.
than a 6-second TikTok of nothing.
That's
like
true.
you're not
Yeah,
remembering anything. Like
Yeah.
even watching TV would be more productive
That's
because it's a
true. Like,
coherent narrative.
when
and, like,
when I'm going through like Instagram reels and shit, and then I think about it later, I'm like, I don't remember any
Any of it.
except maybe like one or two guys that died. Like
Yeah,
got
that-
hit by a
that
car a
sticks
certain way,
out, yeah.
or like whatever. But out of the 100 guys I saw die, I maybe remember two
your
of them.
feed is just like
It's
live
like,
leak
it's
videos.
asses. It's like professional fighting and
falling on
sometimes
train
street fighting, and then people dying, like getting hit by trains,
people falling
car
on the
crashes, people dying at work with a forklift.
I like the drift circles where there's
Yeah,
so much of
yes,
a lot of
yes.
that, dude.
and
So
then a
much
dude
of
just
that.
gets clipped on the end.
And
Yes.
his shoes fly off every
Yeah.
time. So
Well, that's how
a
you know
lot
they
of time
died.
their pants are off. dude.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos. Me and my friend talk about it all the time. Somebody gets clipped by one of those, and he's like kind of stunned, and he starts to sit up. Somebody runs up and does this like sweeping punch move to him without
Why?
stopping, and they just run his pockets, and like they get swarmed like by vultures, and they all just like run all of his pockets and just
no.
leave.
That's fucking awesome.
It's so like the fluidity of the movement
That's
of just
fucking
like
awesome.
the punch to just immediately in the pockets was
It's funny because like
elegant.
the equivalent of that to like a more old world thing, like imagine like the 40s or something like that, would be like everyone's there at the circus. And the guy's like doing flips or shooting out of a cannon, and the guy flies out of a cannon and he hits someone and kills him, and everyone just runs up and runs his pocket.
Just takes his leather shoes off him.
Yeah,
Loot.
his pocket watch and shit.
Just loot a man in broad daylight.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of that.
Or like a highway robber, like like the Good Samaritan. You hit someone with a fucking like baton.
It's funny to think of just some carny walking off with a monocle after he took
yeah,
out some
yeah.
guy.
Some rich dude just got killed. He
Some
took his
dude with
monocle.
A fucking bag close.
He's got the big poofy hat.
That is fucked up. Or a dude in the what do they call it? The
Stocks?
stocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That shit rules.
You were allowed to fuck with people, and I read the Wikipedia page, and like you were encouraged to
Those
go
dudes
up
are
and
always
like.
getting Gaddafi'd for sure.
No, you go up and you just or just going up and just slapping somebody. Like
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
just do so much funny shit. Like it would be
Yeah, yeah.
so funny. Like you probably just get pants constantly. Like
For
you
sure.
just be getting.
Oh,
you'd be
yeah.
getting
You
clowned
can't
on.
get them back up.
You
so
flick
it's like,
people's
yeah.
noses and like it'd be so funny.
Yeah.
We should bring that back. That's
They were
hilarious.
encouraged. Yeah.
You throw shit at them, like you just drive by and be like, "Fucking idiot," and like just go about your day. Like that. It was a fun time. And what's funny is like women really fuck with that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like back in the day, they would make laws so women couldn't go to those things because it was like conflicting with their like women are like
Fear
dainty,
and
they don't like
stuff.
violent. Yeah, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were the biggest turnout to like public executions and shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That makes sense.
It's
Because
just
I feel like most guys, when you see a dude like do something illegal or something crazy, I'm always like, I could see myself doing that.
Right. Like, no snitching. I'm not gonna snitch.
I understand how you got there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I probably
Depending on
wouldn't
the
get
thing,
there,
yeah.
Right.
but
I follow
could
the line.
I see how you got there.
Right.
But I feel like women are just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, what are you
Fucking
doing? Yeah, you're
idiot.
fucking up our shit. Like, stop stealing shit.
Yeah, yeah. So I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a bit in that Monty Python in a Life of Brian where they're doing the stonings and all the women have like fake beards on.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're like, are there any men here? And they're like, no, we're not. No. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
There was a thing. This game I played. This game, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Bro, don't even get me started.
Great
bro.
game.
Fucking love
Okay.
that game. Yeah.
That game was. It showed me. I got a lot of insight
Gives you a
on
glimpse.
life in medieval times,
Mhm.
right? And it made me realize like the executioner lives outside of town. Way outside of town, so no one knows who he is.
Mhm.
Where's the mask? Always with the mask, so no one knows who he is. Because if people knew, they'd be trying to kill his ass, and they'd be,
Like, that guy killed my dad.
yeah, yeah, dude. I never thought about that shit ever.
And
Like,
it was like think about the dude that was like down to be the executioner. That
Yeah,
was just like
yeah.
today's social. Like,
and then it sucks. Like that guy wants to go get a drink, and he's just got to sit there and be like, "Oh, I work at the coal mine," and they're like, "Well, I know all the coal miners." And
I've
they're-
never seen you there.
Yeah.
No, I work from home some days, so
Yeah.
you're probably not there. I'm probably not in the office.
So you can't tell anyone and shit, but everyone also, the towns are so small, everyone has a good
hunch on who it
idea,
is.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's this weird fucking thing.
I
It's
guess if you
like,
don't know
as
their
long as you
occupation
don't
for
know
sure.
for sure,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna get revenge on him.
right.
But everyone probably knows for sure.
I feel like back then people would get revenge on a hunch too, though. Like I feel like it was like things
But
were loose enough that
it
like
probably
And like, wasn't your last name your job? Like,
Well,
hey,
a lot of-
John,
yeah.
executioner son. What do you do?
Executioner son.
What do you do for a living?
Axeman.
Yeah, J. John Axman. What's your
yeah, dude.
hey, Simon Guillotine. What's your occupation?
Oh, Guillotine's a badass last name,
That
dude.
that
sweet.
is sick.
Holy
It's like a
shit.
wrestler's name.
Hell yeah.
Guillotine.
Yes. Well,
Got the blades on him.
do you ever watch like Dan Carlin, Hardcore History guy?
Oh yeah,
you know
I've
what I'm talking
seen
about?
some of that. Yeah.
He there's one called like Painfotainment, and that's where I got the executioner thing, and he just talks about like public executions throughout time, and like or like the Colosseum, like having that be a spectacle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all that shit. And there's a whole bit about executioners, and I think the mask thing wasn't like universal. That might just be where is Kingdom Come? It's like the Czech Republic or something. Bavaria, right? Or like it's like Germany, Eastern
Yeah,
Europe,
yeah,
Central
yeah.
Europe, kind of.
Bavaria?
Yeah,
Is the-
Bavaria. or
Bulgaria?
No,
like
not
Bavarian
Bulgaria.
is like a thing. I thought it was like the Czech Republic and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
it
kinda
is.
almost Poland.
Yeah, it is.
It's like that little middle area.
It's somewhere over there.
Like Lithuania and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's in that area.
And but I think the mask thing is like specific to that like region or whatever. But he was saying with the he might have been talking about England. I don't know where exactly
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was, but he was saying that like they would intermarry. The executioners would because you couldn't.
That makes
you
sense.
couldn't marry anyone in the town,
my
and so
God.
you would only hang out with other executioner
crazy.
families. And if you went to the market, they would make this like you give them a wide berth because if you got touched by the executioner, it meant you were gonna die next.
Oh,
it was just like
shit.
superstition.
And then there's probably it's like the person that became the executioner was probably like a punishment.
Yeah, it
or
was.
something.
Nobody
They
wanted to
did-
do that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sucks.
Like if the old executioner died, or if he was getting old, he's like in his 40s or whatever. They were like, we got to start looking for a new guy. And they're like,
Damn.
oh, this guy stole a bunch of fruit. Why don't you?
Cut some heads off.
they
for
would
Yeah.
do that,
40 more
or they would
years.
keep it in the family, and it would be this generational
Yeah,
thing.
right, yeah,
because
yeah.
it was like everybody hated the executioner, but you needed a good one.
Yeah.
Because if you fuck it up, like it was a huge deal. Like
Yeah,
people would
yeah.
come and beat the shit out of you. If
Yeah.
it took you like 3 cleaves to
Yeah,
like get through the
yeah, yeah.
person's head, people would get upset, and so
Yeah.
you would have to like you want a good.
It's kind of weird. They're like, dude, what the fuck? That was barbaric. What were you doing?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's not what we wrote down. Was the punishment?
yeah.
Punishment's a good, clean head chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cruel and
Civilized.
unusual.
yeah.
And then we just found out about hanging, and we're like, why are we fucking around with all this?
Yeah.
That seems worse than a guillotine.
Not in
though.
terms of like surefire way. You know what I mean? Like you miss a
Oh,
good
yeah.
you miss a good shot with the axe. It might take a few. Like
Yeah.
your neck's not unless you got a fat neck. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna die.
yeah.
Your neck's snapping for sure.
True.
Which is pretty cool.
I guess it was immediate, huh? It wasn't like a lot of kicking.
No,
I don't
no.
know. I watched that in The Sopranos. There's a scene where a guy hangs himself and like he's like kicking for like maybe a minute.
Well,
and then he,
If you grab it,
But I
feel
think
like
if you're doing
That's-
it yourself, you're not getting the
oh,
the
that's
drop.
true.
You need
He's
the
kicking a
drop.
chair. Yeah.
yeah, and even that, it's probably not up high enough.
It's true.
You need
the-
some fucking
the
20
momentum.
feet, like
I didn't think about that
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, you fall for like a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those things are pretty high up. I think
Mhm.
they're like taller than people usually.
Yeah.
At the base, it's
For
like
sure.
probably 8 feet up,
It's like a big stage.
and then also you got the pole, so that's adding another fucking
Yeah, you got the little
6
the
feet,
hangman
8
stick.
feet. Yeah, so.
Yeah, you got a guy down below making you guess letters.
That was that you get a pardon if you can guess all the letters. We'll let your dad go. You can solve this riddle. Ooh, no more vowels. Sorry.
Damn. Yeah, that's fun.
I would want to do that just so I could shoot the rope. You know,
Oh,
I would
dude,
wanna,
it's
like,
so
it's
sick.
such a move. If you could save your fucking
That'd be sick.
your dad by shooting
Yeah.
the rope. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh yeah,
Sick.
yeah, dude,
Badass.
that's so badass.
So fucking good.
Ride by and just don't even stop.
Yeah, not even looking.
Dude,
Fucking use some dead eye on that shit.
so sick.
Badass.
That is sick.
What time is it?
It's we're like an hour and a half. We're good.
Okay,
Cool.
let's go.
Hell yeah,
I'm
dude.
starving.
Cool. Yeah, that camera died. Switched to that camera. This
Hell
almost
yeah.
died. Had to plug it in, but we're
Alright.
fucking.
Yeah.
We're cooking
Oh yeah.
You keeping that boat running.
right there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you
Peace.
made it this far.
Hey,
Appreciate
have a good
you.
one. Hey, take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Go out on the nice happy guillotine
Oh, yeah.
talk.
A lot of murder too.
Dark episode.
I liked it.